Everybody's got their job to do, and not just one guy, not just one coach, not one call. It's going to be 4 quarters of great football. We've got to go earn it, and then when the opportunity is there, our team's got to jump on it and take it. So what a great opportunity, and man, I'm glad we're here in Vegas on a Friday night.
Yeah, lastly for you, Coach, a highly anticipated game. Rebel Nation has had this game circled on the calendar, and they're going to show out in big numbers tonight. It's going to be loud. What is your message to Rebel Nation before this matchup?
Yeah, we need you. We understand we're going to need to give you a reason to cheer, but you can make a difference in the game. We need you from start to finish. Be loud and help us go win the game.
Thanks so much, Coach. Best of luck today.
Thanks, man.
Our coach's keys coming up. That's the head coach, Barry Odom. We'll also have out-of-town scores and kickoff between UNLV and Boise State. All that and more coming up on the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
Pueblo Medical Imaging is a proud sponsor of UNLV Athletics and provides services at 4, soon-to-be 5 locations throughout Southern Nevada. PMI is your one-stop shop for all your radiology needs, with state-of-the-art equipment and accessibility for fast and accurate diagnoses to get you back to doing what you love. PMI is Las Vegas's preferred radiology provider. For more information, go to PMILV.com. Go Rebels!
Parkway Tavern is the official home of the Rebels on the road. With 7 neighborhood taverns, there's no better place to win with the Rebels. Enjoy $5 Miller Lite and Coors Light drafts and $6 Crown Royal, Kettle One, and Fireball during every game, all season long. Plus, download the Parkway app for a free souvenir pint glass and free domestic draft at any of their 7 Valley locations. Parkway Tavern is a proud partner of your UNLV Rebels. Visit pkwitavern.com or follow them on social media at Parkway Tavern. That's PKWY Tavern. Go Rebels!
Injured in a car accident or at work? Don't go it alone. Call Shook & Stone, Nevada's premier injury and disability law firm. With over 25 years of experience, we've helped over 20,000 Nevadans recover over $1 billion in compensation and benefits.
At Shook & Stone, we understand the challenges you face after an accident or injury. Medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering. And insurance companies that put their interests before yours.
But you don't have to go it alone. Our team of experienced attorneys and staff is here to fight for the compensation and benefits you deserve.
Whether you've been injured in a car accident, workplace injury, construction accident, medical malpractice, or any other type of personal injury, Shook & Stone have the knowledge and resources to protect your rights.
For 3 decades, Shook & Stone has been here for you and your family. You're not alone. Call Shook & Stone at 702-GET-MORE for a free consultation. It won't cost you anything to see if we can help.
The official partner of UNLV Athletics.
Shook and Stone. Call 702-GET-MORE.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
At Finley Chevrolet, we've made it simple and easy for our family of customers to get the Chevrolet they want at the price they deserve. Woo! And in turn, you've helped us win the prestigious Chevrolet Dealer of the Year award 7 years in a row. Woo! Thank you, Southern Nevada, from everyone at Finley Chevrolet, Nevada's #1 Chevrolet volume dealer, located on the 215 Beltway between Rainbow and Jones, or at finleychevy.com. Finley Chevrolet, home of the fine new roads.
You sit in traffic now, but later, there's an ice-cold reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. You've earned this rich golden lager with a crisp, refreshing taste. Because you know, all your patience is paid out in gold. You remain calm through honks, bumper to bumper, and people yelling. Come on, move! You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Now back to the UNLV Football Pregame Show, presented by Ted Weens Complete Auto Service.
The Rebel Nation, what a great time to be a UNLV fan. Back-to-back bowl games for the first time in program history. You can help Coach Odom and the Rebels keep the momentum going by supporting Friends of UNILV. Go to friendsofUNILV.com and make a difference. Along with Steve Cofield, Caleb Herring, I'm Matt Neverett. just getting set for kickoff between UNLV and Boise State. We heard from the head coach, Barry Odom, but now we'll turn things over to Caleb Herring for the coach's keys for this matchup.
Coach Odom, keys to the game, brought to you by Southern Nevada Toyota Dealers Association. Number one on the list this week is the turnover margin. UNLV has been dominant as far as the turnover margin goes, generating turnovers by their defense and also protecting the football offensively. That's going to be a key in this ball game. Again, just like Oregon State, possession is going to be key. Playing from in front, not giving Ashton Jeanty and the Boise State offense multiple additional opportunities to possess the football. So the turnover margin is going to be massive. Number two, special teams. It has to be special, as it has been all year long. Ricky White has 3 blocked punts on the season. He leads the nation all by himself. UNLV has to be special on the special teams unit. Punt coverage, punt return, punt block, all of it, especially in the kicking and the return game on kickoff return as well. Be special in special teams. Number 3, third down percentage. UNLV has to be masterful at staying on the field offensively. They got their percentage up to over 50% last week. They want to make that the norm and continue to improve on their third down percentage offensively. Also, on the defensive side, when you get opportunities on third downs against this Boise State Bronco offense, you need to get them off the field. If they're playing from behind the chains and then you have an opportunity at a 3rd and long, you have to get off the field. Make sure you take away possessions by ending them on 3rd down. Now, time for your out-of-town scores presented by Southern Nevada Water Authority. This week, again, another one of those funky weeks where we have Tuesday action in college football. Sam Houston over FIU was final on Tuesday, 10-7. UTEP went down to Louisiana Tech, 14-10 was the final there on Tuesday night. Wednesday brought one of the shockers across the college football nation. You talk about those teams vying for the first opportunity for a college football playoff berth. Liberty fell to Kennesaw State in a shocking upset. I think they were a 21-point favorite in that game. Ended up losing 27-24. Kennesaw State stormed the field in the upset victory. Jackson State over Middle Tennessee State, 42-20. Also went final on Wednesday night. Thursday night action, Old Dominion over Georgia Southern at home, 47-19 was the final. And then a big-time blowout, number 19 Pitt taking on Syracuse at home, came away with a massive victory, 41-13, proving they are a legitimate top 25 program, while taking away from some of the credibility for UNLV's only loss on the season to Syracuse. What an upsetting defeat there for the Orange. Upsetting performance there by Kyle McCord. 4 interceptions, 3 of those led to touchdowns on pick sixes. So Pitt over Syracuse. In action right now, ACC matchup, Boston College and Louisville. Boston College was leading, but a late lead taken in the 4th quarter. Louisville now up 31-27 on the road against Boston College. Of course, we've got plenty of Mountain West action. Plenty of college football action this weekend on Saturday, but the business at hand getting ready to kick off. Friday Night Lights, UNLV, Boise State will bring you the action here in just a little bit.
I'll tell you what, Caleb, looking over, you and I both have the same look on our faces. It is as exciting as it has ever been to be a fan, a supporter, and any relation to this UNLV football program. The fans have rolled in, the hype video is playing, and the Rebels getting set to get introduced for the biggest game in the group of 5 this year, potentially the biggest game in the history of the UNLV program. That'll wrap things up for our Ted Weens pregame show as the Rebels take the field to the biggest applause of the year. We'll be back with the broadcast from Allegiant Stadium as UNLV tries to upset number 17 Boise State. We'll get things going next here on the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
Listen to Monday night and Thursday night football on Raider Nation Radio 920 AM with Sunday night football on ESPN Radio 1100 AM and 100.9 FM.
Brought to you by Finley Toyota. We're here for you.
Remy Martin is the official cognac of the JT the Brick Show. When you're celebrating any of your team's victories, celebrate with Remy Martin Cognac, XO, VSOP, and 1738. Remy Martin, team up for excellence.
Get baked, get sauced, get rocked. Come check out River Rock Pizza and Pasta at Arizona Charlie's Decatur. We're serving up some of the best specialty pizzas and classic pasta dishes this side of Vegas. Now with pizzas from just $7, our classic rock-inspired restaurant will have you dancing in your seat. River Rock Pizza and Pasta at Arizona Charlie's Decatur is available for dining in or to go. Only at
Arizona Charlie's Casino.
on the Rebel Sports Network from Learfield. Rebel Football is brought to you by Barbasol Shaving Cream, delivering a quality shave at an honest value for over 100 years. Also by Findlay Chevrolet. Findlay Chevrolet is your home of the Woo, located on the 215 Beltway between Rainbow and Jones. It's time for Rebel Football.
The vision of what we're going to get accomplished is at a championship level every which way that you turn.
Fires end zone. It's Jacob to Jesus. He makes the catch. He tiptoes for the touchdown.
You can see and you can feel the excitement for UNLV.
He steps back, looks left, throws to Snead, and it's picked off. Tipped away by Jalen Catalon. Nothing but grass in front of him. Catalon, end zone, pick six.
This is not the mountaintop.
No one's gonna catch Jet Thomas as he runs the kickoff 89 yards to pay dirt.
Our standard is to get back to the Mountain West Championship game and win it.
Stiff arms the defender, dives towards the end zone, touchdown.
It's an elite opportunity.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. A 50-burger for the Rebels.
Go Rebels.
Kickoff is just moments away. Now, with the call of the game, here's Caleb Herring and the voice of the Rebels, Matt Neverett.
It's homecoming. It's Nevada Day. And it's the game of the year around the group of five. UNLV and Boise State getting set for kickoff in front of the biggest crowd of the year, likely the biggest crowd ever for UNLV here at Allegiant Stadium. Caleb, the anticipation palpable for this one. You and I just as excited as any fan, any player, and any coach that's down there on the field right now.
I'll tell you what, the energy at Allegiant Stadium is an all-time high. Boise State has traveled. I have to mention that. They traveled. The Broncos came out to the field from a rain of boos from the UNLV faithful who are here. The electricity has not died down yet. The captains were out at center field getting the coin toss. We couldn't hear what the official had to say because the crowd has been steadily roaring since both teams came out onto the field. This is an exciting matchup. National TV, this is what you sign up for when you want to go play college football. UNLV is a part of the primetime action here on a Friday night. Couldn't ask for anything better here in late October.
Barry Odom and Spencer Danielson, the coaching battle, as it's going to be a real stylistic clash. Boise State comes in with the Heisman Trophy frontrunner in Ashton Jeanty, leads the country in rush yards, all-purpose yards, yards after contact, and total scoring. UNLV comes in as the #1 field position and special teams team in all of college football. Boise State won the opening toss, and they're going aggressive. They want the ball first. They want to get the ball in the hands of both Maddox Madsen and Ashton Jeanty. Kind of what we thought. Whoever would win the toss in this game, Caleb, would want the ball first to get the momentum.
Yeah, Coach Odom mentioned that he is a deferred type of coach. He does want to defer no matter what. So Boise State, though, their temperature has been they want to play from in front. They want to have a lead. So Ashton Jeanty and that offense will come out first, try to get the scoring started. So how important is it for the defense of UNLV to come out and get the first stop of the game? I think that takes a lot of air out of the sails of the Broncos offense with the aggressive decision to receive the opening kickoff. Essentially, you steal a possession in the ballgame if you come out with a stop defensively on the opening series. But it's going to be a fiery one. I'm excited to see who settles into this ballgame first. The electricity, the emotions, the energy is at an all-time high. Imagine what these players are feeling, the jitters. Got to get those first couple of hits to get you settled into the ballgame. Kickoff team's going to have their chance, and then the defense out first. We're going to see what this is all about here in just a few seconds.
The entire lower bowl is completely full. The upper half of the stadium about half full. This is going to be the biggest crowd for UNLV ever here at Allegiant Stadium. The Rebels going with red jerseys and white numbers on top. They've got the red helmet with the white face mask and the shiny paint on top. They've got white pants, white cleats. Boise State going with the ghost Bronco look, as they call it. White helmet, white jersey, white pants, and white accessories. Should be a really fun matchup that'll look great on television, and it's going to look great in front of us here as the conference's freshman and special teams player of the week last week, Caden Chittenden, lines the ball up on the tee at the 35-yard line. Rebels are going to kick off from right to left, going from south to north. Back in his own end zone is Dylan Riley, the Boise State backup running back. Here's Chittenden's kick, and the opening kickoff goes through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Riley watches it go over the head, so the 25-yard line where this Boise State offense will get it started. Cage Casey, the left tackle, Ben Dooley, the left guard, Zach Holmes, the center, with Tyler Keeneth, the right guard, and Hall Schmidt, the right tackle, making up the starting offensive line. Maddox Madsen, the redshirt sophomore out of American Fork, Utah, under center. Prince Strawn, Cameron Kemper, Latrell Caples, the three starting wideouts, the big tight end, Matt Lauder, the San Diego native, and of course, the man they call Deuce, Ashton Jeanty, lining up in the backfield in the pistol. Madsen in the shotgun with two tight ends to the left. He's got a receiver to each side going from left to right to get the game started. Man in motion from the top of the formation to the bottom. First offensive snap of the game. From the 25-yard line, it's Genty on the handoff. It's Fisher K-Mac meeting him in the backfield. He stuffs him for a loss of 1 on the game's first play. Talk about setting a tone early.
Setting a tone early. UNLV going with 5 linemen on the play, 2 linebackers, and Jalen Catalon coming off the edge like a missile. But Fisher K-Mac beat him to the punch and got the first hit on Ashton Genty. He goes for a loss. Rebel defense stuffed out that run on the first play.
Genty does not get stuffed for a loss very often. He leads the country in yards after contact. Tight bunched up formation with 2 receivers to the top. Latrell Caples goes in motion from left to right. In the shotgun, Maddox takes the snap. He'll look to pass, fires near sideline. He's got Caples at the 25. Tries to spin around a man, but he's tackled. Brought down by Jalen Catalon. After a gain of 2, Caples brought down right where he was tackled by the safety.
And this is the exact situation you want the Broncos to be in. 3rd and long. Again, Maddox Madsen, not the premier passer. And essentially with this down and distance, you feel like you may have taken Ashton Genty out of the play. The crowd is on their feet for the first Raising Cane's 3rd down of the ball game.
3rd down and 10 from the 26-yard line. Madsen doesn't like the look, so he'll change up the play at the line of scrimmage. Rebels with 3 down linemen. It's Marcel McDuffie and Jackson Woodard, the 2 linebackers. With 5 on the play clock, Madsen takes the snap. He looks to pass. He steps up in the pocket. He'll run it. He gets across the 30, the 35, to the middle of the field. He's at the 40. He's across midfield at the Rebel 40. He's at the 35 before cutting it back on the near side hash. He is brought down at the 30 by Cameron Oliver, chasing down Maddox Madsen after a season-long run, and the Broncos coming to the line of scrimmage already.
And that's exactly what you can't have happen. Just poor rush lane discipline by UNLV. Brought the blitz, left a void for Maddox Madsen, and a gaping hole for him to gash this defense on the first 3rd down conversion. Gets up near the NV Energy red zone for the first time for the Bronco offense.
From his own 26 to the Rebel 26 on 1 run. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Genty in the backfield, lined off the right hip of Madsen. On play action, he'll look to pass. It's tipped at the line of scrimmage on the slant route. Fisher K-Mac, all 6 feet 7 inches of him, got a hand in already. He's making an impact.
That's a great job by Fisher K-Mac getting his hand up, deflecting that. I think the coverage on the back end actually was solid on the RPO as well. Even if that gets through, it looks like Jonathan Baldwin may have a chance at an interception, but a great play again, calling Fisher K-Mac's name quite a bit here in the early going for UNLV's defense.
K-Mac with 3 tackles and a quarterback hit in the win last week against Oregon State. The Arizona native playing a lot more here at this point of the year. 2nd down and 10 from the Rebel 26. No score, 13 minutes to play in quarter number 1. Caples in motion from left to right. We give this to Genty off the right side. He's met in the backfield, and he's brought down for a loss. Manny Powell came in and laid the boom. Another loss, this time of 3 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 14.
UNLV's defense is absolutely reading their keys against this Bronco offense. The ground game has not been able to get started. They're getting to Ashton Genty before he can even get downhill. First tackler to him is bringing him down every time. That's a rarity against Ashton Genty.
Boise State has a 3rd down and 14 upcoming with the ball in the UNLV 30. They're number 4 in the country with a 54.5% conversion percentage on 3rd down. 2 receivers left, a tight end and a receiver to the right. Caples motion to the top of the formation. Back to pass with Genty in. Pass block is Madsen. He rolls right, fires over the middle. It's complete at the 20-yard line. Matt Lauder on the catch, but he's not at the line to gain as Jalen Catalon tackled him at the 20-yard line. And that'll bring out the Boise State field goal unit as the Rebels try to limit the Broncos to 3 points on their first possession.
Great job giving up a little bit in the pass attack. Maddox Madsen again using his legs, scrambles and finds an open receiver, but not for the yards to gain. Rebels get off the field on 3rd down and force the Broncos to settle for a field goal here early.
There's a 37-yard attempt upcoming on 4th and 4 from Jonah Dalmas, the Mountain West Conference all-time scoring leader. Snap's good. The hold by the punter, James Ferguson Reynolds, is down, and the kick is up and through, a high and over-end kick. That gives Boise State a 3-0 lead. They jump out to an early lead, scoring first for the 7th time in 7 games on the year. Dalmas with his 8th field goal, making 9 tries on the year, and the Rebels bend but don't break, allowing just 3 points on the first Boise State drive. 11:34 to go in the first quarter. UNLV is going to have the ball for their first offensive possession coming up. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
Pueblo Medical Imaging is a proud sponsor of UNLV athletics and provides services at 4, soon to be 5 locations throughout Southern Nevada. PMI is your one-stop shop for all your radiology needs with state-of-the-art equipment and accessibility for fast and accurate diagnoses to get you back to doing what you love. PMI is Las Vegas's preferred radiology provider. For more information, go to PMILV.com. Go Rebels!
A true teammate takes on every day with a winner's attitude, gets up when they fall down, and leaves it all on the field. There's a group of teammates who do all these things every single day. But they're more than your typical athlete. They're kids dealing with unthinkable medical circumstances. Team Impact matches children facing serious illness or disability with college sports teams, creating a long-term, life-changing experience for everyone involved. Help us get all kids in the game. Visit teamimpact.org. Team Impact. All in, all together.
Tonight's game brought to you by America First, Nevada's premier credit union. Whatever financial goals you've got for yourself, your family, or your business, America First can help get your money working. So head to americafirst.com and join the home team today. UNLV football also presented by Findlay Chevrolet. Located in the Southwest at 215 in South Rainbow, Nevada's #1 Chevrolet volume dealership. Frankly, we're customer driven. 3-0 Boise State with 11:34 to play in quarter number 1. Maddox Madsen leads a 7-play, 55-yard drive that took almost 3.5 minutes off the clock, culminating in a 37-yard field goal from Jonah Dalmas. He's made more field goals than anybody in Mountain West history, so nothing to scoff at there. But for this UNLV defense, containing Ashton Genty in the early part of the game, a huge win on that drive.
Yeah, a huge win, not just containing him, but really containing the totality of the Bronco offense. Even when they decide to throw it on early downs, Rebel tackled it for a minimal gain. So if you look at the 6 plays defensively for UNLV, they've done exactly what they want to do. Now, the run by Maddox Madsen is probably going to be considered a one-off. He was probably surprised at how much he was able to get down on the field. But UNLV defensively got to feel good about holding the Broncos to 3 points there. Got to feel good about the way they fit against the run and the way they were able to create penetration against the run in the early going. So the offense for the first time will have to counter. Can they steal a possession, come away with 7 points, and take the early lead, put the Broncos in unfamiliar territory, and be trailing early in this ballgame?
Jacob DeJesus is going to get set for his first potential kickoff return of the game. Teams have been staying away from him in the kicking game. I can only imagine why. The All-American last year at both kick and punt returner. Boise State set to get things going. Ready to kick things off from left to right is Jarrett Reeser, one of 3 kickers who share kickoff duties for Boise State. They got a bunch of bodies lined up near the sidelines, just 2 protectors in the middle. Now they approach the ball as Reeser kicks it from the north end zone towards the south end zone. Jacob DeJesus watches it bounce back at the 5-yard line. That's Dago Albert on the carry. He's got it out past the 15 to the 20. He's brought down at the 25-yard line. Tackle made by Nathan Cardona, and that's where the Rebels will start things out. Interesting to see Albert dropping back there as he hobbles to the sideline.
Yeah, he kicked it away from Jacob DeJesus, and Albert got his hands on it. Jacob DeJesus would have probably liked to get that. He was there in position to return it if he needed to, but positive yardage, even if it's just by 1. UNLV offensively will start from the 26-yard line as the crowd settles in. Haj Malik Williams in the empty backfield to start.
After a 24-yard return, the Rebels will now change up the formation. Thomas and James, along with Christian Moore, all lining up in the backfield in a modified pistol. Haj Malik Williams on the first play from scrimmage. Fakes a handoff up the middle. He throws over the middle, and it's incomplete. Ty Benefield, the safety, came up and knocked it away. He was into the passing lane quickly, and Haj Malik, very fortunate that one was not picked off.
Yeah, fortunate. He went the wrong way on that RPO. Jacob DeJesus is one-on-one, and he tries to instead fit it to Ricky White, who's triple covered on that play. Bad decision early for Haj Malik. Fortunate that wasn't disaster on the first play from scrimmage.
Devin Green into the game for the first time. The true freshman out of Sacramento will get it faked to him on the triple option. Haj Malik fakes it to the outside. He runs it up the middle himself, past the 40. He's at the 45. He's at midfield to the Bronco 40. The 35. He cuts it inside at the 20. The 15. One man to beat. He's at the 10. Stiff arms a defender. Brought down inside the 5 is Haj Malik Williams. Chasing him down on the back end of the play was Jeremiah Irby. That's how to set the tone offensively for UNLV.
From bad decision to fantastic decision. Haj Malik Williams on the triple option that introduced him to UNLV in his first start here against Fresno State. First look at the triple option for the Broncos, and Haj Malik Williams makes him pay inside the 5-yard line in a hurry. What a response by Haj Malik Williams.
A 66-yard carry. And with 4 tight ends into the game. First appearance for Christian Earl. They're all lined up on the right side. The give is to James. He'll try it across the outside. Gets it down to the 3-yard line. He's spotted actually at the 4 for a loss of 1. First time that we've seen all 4 tight ends, including Christian Earls, into the game.
Yeah, they're throwing out the heavy personnel here in short yardage situations. Sometimes they even bring out an extra lineman, but with Earls coming back from injury, they trust their big tight ends. And again, all 4 in off that right side. We'll see what they dial up.
14 personnel with no receivers on the field. And the handoff up the middle. It's James. He'll try to push the pile from the 3-yard line. He's able to work it all the way down to the 2. He'll spot him for a gain of 1 with the defensive tackle Braxton Feely bringing him down. Sets up a Raising Cane's 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line.
You got to wonder in this situation if it's going to be 4 down territory. Now 3 tight ends leave the field. It's going to be 11 personnel checking in for UNLV. They'll lighten up the box, but they still have the threat of the run with Jaden Thomas checking in the backfield.
9:40 and counting in quarter number 1. 3-0 Boise State. UNLV on the doorstep. 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. Malik Williams going under center with Jet Thomas lined up 7 yards behind him. Moore, Balaguy, Ricky to the right. Casey came to the left on play action. Williams engulfed in the backfield, and he's sacked all the way back at the 10-yard line. The safety blitz from Alex Tubner proves to be successful, and here comes the field goal unit for UNLV.
Unfortunate play there for UNLV, taking the loss there on the play action, going under center. Malik Williams doesn't feel the edge pressure. You got to get out of that call on the naked bootleg there with the edge pressure. Unfortunately, not able to do so. Preserving the opportunity for field goal here for Chittenton, well within his range.
We'll try a 27-yarder from just inside the right hash. Ben Lisk on the snap. Marshall Nichols on the hold. The kick is up, and the kick is right down the middle. Well, both teams on their first offensive drives end with a field goal. Jonah Dalmas, the Mountain West all-time leader in kicks made and total points, and Caden Chittenden, the best freshman kicker potentially in the country. 3-3 between UNLV and Boise State. They'll trade field goals, and with 8:47 to go in the first, Boise State gets the ball when we come back. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
What's better than a credit card with a low interest rate? How about one with no interest? For a limited time, when you open a new America First Visa, you'll enjoy 0% APR purchases for the first 6 months. Yep, all that buying power and not a single cent of interest for 6 months. That means no interest on summer fun, no interest on back to school gear, and no interest on holiday shopping. Interested? Then hurry to americafirst.com to apply for yours today. Introductory variable annual percentage rate. Membership eligibility terms, creditworthiness, and conditions apply. See americafirst.com/visa for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal opportunity lender.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super-rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
With 8:47 to go in the first, all tied up in this highly anticipated matchup. 3-3, the score between UNLV and Boise State. Trading field goals on the first offensive drives for both sides. And let's check in with Steve down on the UNLV sideline.
Southern Report is brought to you by Ted Wien's Complete Auto Service. You know, on the last kickoff return you guys mentioned, Diego Albert out there catching it in a short return. I've been waiting to talk about this guy for like 5 weeks. Great story, because Diego's always been a really good special teams player for the Rebels, but he actually went into the transfer portal, was looking for greener pastures in terms of getting a scholarship, because he's been a walk-on his whole career at UNLV. He didn't get any bites, and then he came to the coaches and was like, hey, can I come back on the team? Can I walk back on the team? He came back in week 3, got in condition. He's been playing here and there on special teams. They ramped him up today, and now he looks like he's got a right foot injury. So I'll get you an update on what's going on with him. He looks very disappointed. He's trying to shake it off, and he still is kind of limping on that right foot. Back upstairs to Matt and Caleb.
Yeah, just saw him go back into the tent. Looked like he tried to give it a go, but very frustrated. Came down awkwardly on that return. Got plus yardage on the return. So Coach Odom will be happy with what he did once he got his hands on the ball, but looks like he's going to be limited, to say the least. Still in the tent getting checked on. But what a response by UNLV. And what a response by both of these quarterbacks. We talked about the matchup between what they bring to the table. Who knew Madsen would have the biggest rush of the game for the Broncos at this point? And Malik Williams doing what he does on the triple option, responds with a big-time run of his own. Both teams, unfortunately, unable to get the drive anywhere past the red zone and stall there for 3. We're back where we started. A 0-0 ball game, but scoreboard will say 3-3 here late in the first quarter.
Caden Chinton approaches the ball and gets it underway on the kickoff, going from right to left. Back in his own end zone is Dylan Riley, and he'll watch it go through the back of the end zone towards the Win Club seats that are so highly publicized here at Allegiant Stadium. So second offensive drive coming up for 17th ranked Boise State, who comes in 9-3 all-time against UNLV. They are 4-3 here in Vegas. What's interesting, Caleb, they are 28-4 coming off of a bye week since moving up to Division I in 1996. This is one of the most consistent programs in college football.
Yeah, good news as far as getting something back for UNLV. Marcel McDuffie out on the field for the first time. He was not out there on the first defensive possession, but now he's out there next to Jackson Woodard as a linebacker here in this formation.
Rebels with 4 down linemen. Boise State with 2 receivers on each side. Genty contacted in the backfield. He'll try it off the left tackle. Shakes off 2 tackles. Gets around Jonathan Baldwin past the 35 and is eventually tripped up at the 38-yard line. That's what we're used to seeing from Ashton Genty, just kind of bouncing off would-be tacklers.
And there again, Marcel McDuffie chasing him down on the play. Looked like it was a couple Rebels had a chance in the backfield, but they're going quick tempo here on the second down and the second play.
Genty gets it, gets hit at the 40-yard line, moves the pile up to the 42 before Jalen Catalon brings him down, but there is a flag on the field. Our first laundry of the night. And it was in the area of holding. Here's the referee, Nathan
Holding
Dumas.
for 65. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
It's on the right tackle, Hall Schmidt, the 6'7", 308-pound redshirt sophomore. That's a costly one with Genty starting to get into the momentum.
Got a hold there, Marcel McDuffie, who had an opportunity for a tackle for a loss on the play. The hold maybe saved, a down for the Broncos, but it'll back them up behind the chains. 1st and 20 now as they go back into the huddle. First real success for Ashton Genty on those last 2 plays, but they'll still be backed up behind the chains on 1st down.
Ball spotted on the left hash at the 28-yard line. 8 minutes and 5 seconds to go in quarter number 1. Strawn in motion to the right side of the formation. Madsen turns and gives it to Ashton Genty. He's able to pick up 2 before his forward momentum is stopped off the left tackle. Marcel McDuffie holding a fist to the air. He was the first to make contact on that loss on the play.
It's good to see Marcel McDuffie out there. He's got an obvious gait to his step. He's not as explosive as he once was, but still plenty capable of making plays in between the tackles. There, he stuffs things along with Fisher Kamek off that right side. No gain for Ashton Genty. He'll give him forward progress for a couple.
2nd and 18, ball on the 30-yard line. 2 receivers out to each side, including the running back Tyler Crow, who's into the game on the right of the formation. Maddox Madsen changes the play at the line of scrimmage. Rebel with 3 down linemen, and Antonio Doyle coming in on the 4-man rush. Madsen from the pocket, fires over the middle. It's knocked out of the hands of the tight end Lauder. It's grabbed and knocked down again. Oh, what a play. That one was tipped around a couple different times. Lauder had it. Latrell Caples had it as it was tipped up in the air. Somehow, some way, Tony Grimes knocked it away from him for the incomplete pass.
It's a great job by Jet Elad on the initial pass breakup, ripping it out of the tight end's hands, bouncing it up for grabs, and Tony Grimes and Jalen Catalon had a chance for it. But now the Rebel defense finds themselves in another fantastic 3rd down situation. 3rd and 18 for the Bronco offense. The crowd is on their feet for the Raising Cane's 3rd down.
There's 3 receivers to the right side of the formation. Ball on the 30-yard line, spotted at the top of the field on the hash mark. Genty lined up to the right of Madsen, who takes the snap. He'll pass it on 3rd and long. Rebels send some pressure. It's incomplete. In and out of the hands of Austin Bolt on the crossing route. And that'll bring up 4th down and 18. Here comes the Boise State punt unit.
Yeah, essentially just setting up what is going to be a wide receiver screen on that shallow cross. Really just one man in the route trying to get him on the run. All the trips receivers are just blocking their man downfield. Can't make the catch. Wouldn't have gotten the yards to gain either way. Rebels read it well. Now the punt coverage team for the first time. Who knows? The highlight might happen here on the punt team.
The Aussie James Ferguson Reynolds, who led the FBS in punt yardage last year, takes it, rolls to the right, and pitches it in the direction of Jacob DeJesus. He's got it on the 23 on the near side hash, makes a man miss. He'll head towards the top of the screen. He gets to the 30, heading towards his own sideline at the 34-yard line, where he'll eventually be ushered out of bounds by Cameron Bates, who had to go in and out of his hands on the previous time. And UNLV getting set with another positive field position in this game. They're going to have it on their own 34-yard line on the other side of the break. Television taking a timeout. We'll take one with them. 3-3 the score between UNLV and Boise State. 7 minutes exactly to play in quarter number 1. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
You know, a lot of lawyers who advertise here don't. If they say Nevada, they're not from around here. If they think our capital is Las Vegas, they're not from around here. I'm Richard Harris, and I am from Nevada. I grew up here, I went to school here, I raised my family here. No one knows Nevada like we do. If you've been injured, call me, Richard Harris, of the Richard Harris Law Firm. 444-4444. just in case.
This truck season, think about all the things you can do in a Chevy truck. You'll be able to, or you can even just, with impressive towing, incredible bed and tailgate functionality, and multiple powertrains, Chevy trucks have what you need to get things done. When you want to do it all, Chevy's got you. See your Southern Nevada Chevy dealers.
UNLV football is presented by Intermountain Health. Hello, Las Vegas. Hello, Sunset over the Strip. We're Intermountain Health, and we're here to be a part of your Las Vegas life, and we're here to help you live an even healthier one. Intermountain Health, official health partner of UNLV Athletics. Rebel football also presented by Findlay Toyota. After the game or anytime, visit Findlay Toyota, the largest Toyota dealer in Nevada. Ask for John Barr. He'll do anything to sell you a car. UNLV with the ball on their own 34-yard line coming up. 3-3, the score between the Rebels and the Broncos. That 3 and out, more or less, including the penalty for Boise State on that last drive, has to feel like a major victory for UNLV on the defensive side of the ball, as Ashton Jeanty was starting to get a little slippery before that foul.
Yeah, UNLV has done a great job on most of his carries at having a body in his face before he's able to really get going and before he's able to take the handoff. So the penetration that UNLV has been able to generate, beating their blocks at the line of scrimmage, really winning their one-on-ones. And I think they've also done a great job of dialing up run blitzes specifically to try to stop Ashton Jeanty before he gets going. The holding penalty, fortunately, backed the Broncos up. And on the first third down of that series, UNLV was able to get the stop. So a 3 and out, and now UNLV back out on the field offensively, was able to match the field goal of the Broncos on their opening drive. UNLV, though, has to start to finish with touchdowns. Red zone efficiency is great, but against a team like the Broncos, touchdowns have to be mandatory. Look for UNLV to maybe be a little bit more aggressive if they get the ball inside the 5 in terms of thinking about going for it on fourth down.
Going from right to left here is UNLV as Malik Williams will head out with 2 tight ends and 2 receivers, both to the left side of the formation. Jet Thomas in the backfield. He'll get the handoff up the middle, makes a move to the left across the 35-yard line. He's tripped up after a gain of 5 yards as Jet Thomas with his first real true carry of the game. And that'll set up a 2nd down and 5. Ahmed Hassani, who made the tackle there. He's the preseason Mountain West Co-Defensive Player of the Year along with Jackson Woodard for a reason. Rebels with the 2nd down and 6. Ball on their own 38-yard line, 6:37 and counting. Everybody bunched in tight, including Moore and Thomas, both on the left of Malik Williams in the go-go in the backfield. On play action, fake to Jet. The throw to the near side is complete to Jacob DeJesus at the 45-yard line, but he is obliterated by Amarion McCoy, the senior out of Palo Alto.
Yeah, the Rebels are going to get free access in terms of playing off by the secondary, but they are playing downhill. So you might get the catch, but they look to make sure you're not going to do a lot of running after. They're immediately with the ball, not before Neo's Fitness first down.
First completion of the game for Malik Williams gives the Rebels the ball at their own 45-yard line on 1st and 10 on the near side hash mark. He takes the snap, drops back, evades pressure, fires deep. He's looking for Ricky. It's at the 20. It's caught! Caught by Casey Kane inside the 10-yard line. He went over the top of the safety, Alex Tubner, and Casey Kane with an EOS Fitness first down just flipped the field.
It's a great job by Casey Kane locating that ball. He doesn't see it thrown. Malik Williams actually has to backpedal out of there, avoiding some pressure, drops it in a bucket to Casey Kane, who got behind the defense. First explosive play for the Rebel receiver here in the ball game. Gets him down near the 5-yard line, 1st and goal to go.
Longest catch of the year for Casey Kane. Sets up the Rebels with a 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Jet Thomas gets it faked to him. Malik Williams to the end zone. It's incomplete. Intended for Kaleo Ballanguy. Hanging off of him was the safety Zion Washington in man coverage.
Rebels there line Casey Kane up in the backfield as a receiver. Little trickeration there formationally, trying to get this Bronco defense off guard after the explosive play. And then just try to hit Kaleo, boxing out the defender. Big body there. Malik puts that high on the front line. Usually on the front line, you want to put it low. Let your tight end box him out. Make some space on the front line.
Kaleo, DeJesus, and Ricky all on the right side of the formation. Casey Kane on the left. Now DeJesus into the backfield as a running back. He's on the left. Jet Thomas is on the right. On the play action, rolls right. He's got nowhere to go, and he's knocked down at the 9-yard line. In the backfield and knocking him down right away was Shea Oladipo. Jaden Virgin Morgan forced him back to the inside. Sets up a 3rd and goal from the 9.
The Broncos are doing a great job here of keeping from breaking down in the red zone. You wonder why they play with the lead so much. It's because this defense does a great job preventing touchdowns when you get down in the red zone. All the windows tighten up. And they're not being fooled by the eye candy, the motions, and the tricky lineups here for the go-go offense. Really being disruptive, getting in the backfield, forcing another sack down here in the red zone.
Two tight ends to the right. Ricky, the only receiver on the left, as Jacob DeJesus motions out towards the top of the formation. Now Hodge brings him back behind him, and he drops back. Looks towards the end zone. Airs one up. Wide open is Kaleo Balangai. He's got it on the over-the-shoulder grab. And from Hajj-Malik Williams to Kaleo Balangai for 6. And the Rebels jump out to a 9-3 lead early. Kaleo Balangai uncovered. Nobody within the same zip code as the tight end. And the Rebels score the game's first touchdown with 4:30 to go in the first.
Just as I say, the eye candy is not getting to Boise State. They bring the tight end on the under route, sneaking him right shallow on the formation. Really an inverted wheel route, if you want to think of it that way. Coming from right to left, finds himself wide open, uncovered for the first touchdown of the ball game.
America First Credit Union touchdown will bring out the field goal unit as Caden Chittenden hammers the extra point home. And after the third receiving touchdown of the year for Kaleo Balangai and that aforementioned extra point, it's a 10-3 Rebel lead with 4:30 to play in the first. And the Rebels strike first blood in terms of finding the end zone. Boise State will have a response on the other side of the break as you're listening to the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
There's something beautiful happening in Las Vegas. Life in some.com.
This is Todd Frayton's heart. He's begun his wellness journey. This is its sound on a treadmill, at a slight incline, on a stroll through the forest. And this is the heart of Maria Sanchez, his wellness coach. What's it doing here? A lot, actually. Because when we partner with you, we don't just offer a strategic plan and status updates. We put our hearts into it, beat for beat. Intermountain Health, the power of we.
Rebel football is presented by Sierra Air Conditioning and Plumbing. They make quality service their top priority and was voted best air conditioning company in Las Vegas. Their highly trained technicians will make sure the job is done right the first time. Sierra is here to help you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call Sierra Air Conditioning and Plumbing today for service that soars above the rest. And also by Pueblo Medical Imaging. The friendly staff at Pueblo Medical is eager to take care of all your radiology needs. They offer same-day and next-day appointments as well. With top-of-the-line, state-of-the-art equipment, they're open 7 days a week with early morning and evening appointments to accommodate all patient schedules. That's Pueblo Medical Imaging. Well, after a 9-yard pitch and catch from Hajj-Malik Williams to Kaleo Balangai, the Rebels strike first blood in terms of the touchdowns and lead Boise State 10-3 with 4:30 to go in the first. And Caleb, all of that set up by the explosive play to Casey Kane from Hajj-Malik.
Very explosive play. Hajj-Malik Williams, first on that play, does a great job identifying the pressure, buys himself a little bit of time by backpedaling away from it, understand that it had Casey Kane streaking down the sideline, and a great job by Casey Kane out of the slot. He's running the high corner route. He doesn't see the ball thrown. He looks back to locate it and has to find it mid-stride. Fortunately, it was such an accurate pass by Hajj-Malik Williams off the back foot because it dropped right into his lap for the biggest play of the game as far as receiving goes for UNLV. But an explosive play, capturing the first lead of the ball game, up 10-3 after finishing it off with the Kaleo Balangai touchdown reception. Rebels, all the energy on their side after some explosive plays offensively.
And long ball from Hajj-Malik to Casey. One of those ones where he's just throwing it to a spot, letting the receiver run underneath it. Here's Chittenden out to get this one back underway. A high end-over-end kickoff that goes over the back of the head of Dylan Riley standing in his own end zone. 3 kicks, 3 touchbacks for Caden Chittenden. That's becoming a routine at this point for the nation's top scoring kicker. 10-3 UNLV with 4:30 to play. Boise State will have the ball starting their third drive from the 25-yard line. So far for Ashton Genty, 4 carries, 10 yards, 2.5 yards per carry. That's not what he's used to.
Yeah, great job by the Rebel defense, bottling him up, at least in the early going. But remember, this guy is a workhorse, especially if he's going to be forced to play all 4 quarters here. He's going to find his rhythm. You just have to be ready to corral him whenever he does.
Austin Bolt, the only receiver on the left. A tight end and 2 receivers on the right. One of them, Latrell Caples, in motion now. He's lined up on the left. Ball spotted on the far side hash mark. Play action to Genty. Madsen back to pass. He looks and finds him on the swing route. Completed the 25-yard line. Gets off of a tackle to the 30 before Jalen Catalon comes in and tackles him low. Really the only way to go for Genty is to dive at the ankles in a play like that. And Catalon did so, limiting it to a 5-yard catch.
Yes, such great balance. The Rebels had a chance again for a tackle for no gain on the completion on the play action. Unfortunately, a rare missed tackle for Jackson Woodard in open field. Stiff arm from Genty got right up in the face mask of Woodard and is able to scamper for 5 or 6 yards.
That's just Genty's 10th catch of the year overall. He's in the backfield with Madsen lining up under center. Lauder, the tight end, motions from right to left. Gets back in his spot as Madsen. Back to pass in the play action. Fired to the far side. He's got Lauder at the 35. He's across the 40. Cuts it back towards the inside. Holding him up on the play is Jarvis Ware. And coming in to finish him off on the play was Jet Elad. It is enough for the first down. 1st and 10 for Boise State. Ball spotted on their own 43 after a 14-yard pitch and catch.
Rebels taking some chances here, bringing pressures on early downs against the blitz. Some space on the back end found by the tight end. You mentioned he's the number 2 receiver coming into this ball game, and there he finds an opening, gets a first down, and gets the drive rolling here for the Broncos.
Good to see Jarvis Ware back in the fold. Missed last week's game due to a death in the family. Trips receivers to the right. Prince Straw, the only receiver on the left side of the formation. Back to pass, rolling right is Mads, and he fires underneath, and it's tipped away by Jackson Woodard. He was looking for Lauder, the tight end, on a little tunnel screen. A unique development, but Woodard blows it up and sets up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I think Woodard almost had a chance at an interception. Really stuffed out that tight end screen back into the inside, and incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. But Jackson Woodard doesn't look like he's 100% out there. Just watching the way he's moving out there. He's wearing a sleeve over his left leg. Not sure if he's got something bothering him there on that lower leg, but he's not at 100%. It's definitely a little bit of a hitch in his giddy-up.
Rebels in the 4-2-5 defense. We'll send 4 linemen down, and a whistle blows before the snap, and a flag comes out. Did they get that snap off, or was there a false start? We'll have the referee, Nolan Dumas, explain.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 88, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Backup tight end Matt Wagner, the guilty party, and that's the 2nd penalty against Boise State. That first one on that first drive, the hold that was really impactful. This one just moves him back 5 yards. Hits up a 2nd and 15 from the 38.
Yeah, every play, the Broncos have sent someone in motion offensively. So all that procedure before, sometimes people get a little antsy in their stance.
Taking a page out of the go-go, right? A lot of motion from both of these teams. Madsen makes a check at the line of scrimmage. He'll change the play with Genty lined up behind him in the pistol. He'll hand it to him off the right tackle. Genty tries to cut it back inside, but he goes nowhere fast. Somehow able to pick up 2 yards before Jackson Woodard holds on. Fisher K-Mac came in and finished him off over the top as well.
I mentioned Jackson Woodard not at 100%. You wouldn't know it on that play.
He heard you.
Essentially mirroring Ashton Denty, shedding a block along the way, coming up with a short tackle. Had some help over the top by Fisher K-Mac, but yet again, UNLV forcing a 3rd and long for this Bronco offense. Unfamiliar territory for them, but favorable situation here on the Raising Cane's 3rd down for the Rebel defense.
Broncos 1 out of 3 today on 3rd down. They are over 54% on the year. 3 receivers to the top of the formation. Ball snap from the near side hash on the 40-yard line. Madsen to pass on 3rd and long. He fires it towards the sideline. It's incomplete at midfield. That ball knocked away from Chase Penry by Jonathan Baldwin. He has moved up to the nickel this year and been so effective. It brings up a 4th and 13 as the punt unit jogs onto the field.
Rebels going straight man-free across the board with spies watching Genty on the option route out of the backfield. Great coverage by Jonathan Baldwin. Had a spectacular game last week. They're a good stop on 3rd down.
Boise State with his spread-out formation on the punt. Jacob DeJesus with his heels on the 20-yard line. Watches as the low line drive kick comes his way. Bounces at the 30. He lets it go right by him. It takes a Boise State bounce past the 15, rolling towards the 10. That's where it'll be picked up. And UNLV, really for the first time tonight, starts in negative field position. They have been above the 25 every time they've come out until now. They'll start this drive from their own 10-yard line, leading 10-3 with 2:09 to go in the first.
And Jacob DeJesus made a business decision there. Those balls bounce on the ground. They can bounce anywhere. It's unpredictable. He avoided disaster. He wanted to run up and try to make a play on that and save maybe 8 or 9 yards. But you mentioned it. Worst starting field position for UNLV, but they'll start this drive with a lead, up by a touchdown here, looking to add on. They'll have to go 89 yards to pay dirt.
Rebels with 130 yards of total offense, amounting with a 10-3 advantage. Rebels heading from right to left here on this drive. 2 running backs in the backfield. 1 receiver to each side of the formation. Back to pass is Haj Malik Williams. Fires it over the middle of the field. It's over the near sideline, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Casey Kane on another big-time attempt. He was covered one-on-one by Devin Banks.
And the coverage there rolled to Ricky White. So Casey Kane one-on-one. That's why he came in, the Texas transfer, looking to complement Ricky White, taking a shot on 1st down, trying to back these defenders up. But if you have a 2-safety high look and you're UNLV, you've got to be able to run the ball against it. We'll see here what the Broncos do defensively.
Jet Thomas and Greg Burrell, the 2 running backs in the backfield. Ricky White on the right of the formation, DeJesus on the left, and a false start comes out before the play.
False start, number 44, offense, 5-yard penalty, Still second down.
That one's going to be on Christian Moore, and that's a big one because with the ball on the 11-yard line, the Rebels are going to be backed up inside into single digits. They'll make a couple of substitutions as Burrell and Thomas head to the sideline. It'll be Kaleo Ballanguy along with Kylan James checking in. 2:04 to play in the first. Second down and 15. UNLV going to snap this one from their own 6-yard line. Malik Williams on play action, fires to the far side. He completes it to Ricky White at the 10. Makes a move inside at the 15. He's across the 20. He's across the line of the game for the first down and then some. Ricky White brought down by the middle linebacker Marco Notriani. That's a way to get out of the shadow of your end zone on an EOS Fitness first down. Ball all the way out to the 24-yard line.
Again, the Rebels are going to have free access releases as receivers, but Ricky White doesn't get enough credit for what he's able to do after the catch. They're making a defender miss. Usually the sure tackling of the secondary wraps that up for a minimal gain. Ricky White's able to not only dance loose from the first, but the second and third as well, moving the chains for the Rebel offense.
Both tight ends on the right side of the formation. The only running back is James with both Jesus Kane and White on the left. The handoff is up the middle. It's James all by himself at the 30, at the 40. He's across midfield before being tackled at the 46-yard line. A one-on-one touchdown-saving tackle by Davin Banks, and another long, explosive play sets up the Rebels in Bronco territory.
Broncos go with the edge pressure. And James gets right underneath it. Great blocking on the interior, squeezes through. Another big gain for the Rebels.
Trips to the left. 3 receivers on that side of the formation. It's James in the backfield again. He gets it off tackle right side. Cuts it across the 50. He's down to the 45-yard line. That's where he'll be spotted. A hard-fought gain of 2 for the Central Arkansas transfer. A trio of Boise State Broncos bringing them down. Sets up a 2nd and 8 from the 45. With a 5-second difference between the game and the play clock. This will likely be the last play of the first quarter. Ballanguy to the right, so is Corey Thompson and Ricky White. All by himself on the left is Casey Kane. Good to see Jalen St. John, at the left tackle spot. Jet Thomas, the running back, lined up to the right of Malik Williams, who's standing at the 50-yard line. He'll take the snap on play action, fires it to the outside, complete to Ricky at the 40. He spins, the ball pops out, but it's out of bounds. Ball out of bounds, and the officials ruling that Ricky White able to pick up that first down before Zion Washington punched it out.
It'll likely be the last play of the first quarter. Maybe a first down for the Rebels here as the clock winds down. We'll take it into the first quarter break.
10-3 UNLV after a quarter of play. The Rebels driving with first downs on 3 of their last 4 plays offensively. Malik Williams an efficient 5 for 8 for 93 yards. And Ricky White already with a trio of catches. 10-3 UNLV after a quarter of play. They'll flip the fields and head from left to right when we return. Second quarter action coming up from Allegiant Stadium. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
Deep Eddy Vodka, a high-quality vodka with an even higher purpose, to bring people together for good times. We take sunshine, stellar vibes, and laid-back fun and bottle it up for the world to enjoy. The result? A refreshingly clean, real vodka made with real ingredients. Ready for you to enjoy however, wherever, and with whomever you like. Vodka is for fun. Please drink responsibly. Deep Eddy Vodka is a product of Deep Eddy Distillery Company, Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, distilled by corn.
A smooth, close Barbasol shave in the morning lifts your confidence. That rich, creamy lather will catapult you to greatness. Nothing can stop you today. Well, except that traffic jam. Barbasol, it's a can of can-do.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
UNLV football is presented by West Coast Trial Lawyers, the #1 rated personal injury firm and proud supporters of UNLV athletics. Get the most with West Coast. 10-3 UNLV after a quarter of play, and before the second quarter starts, let's check in with Steve Cofield on the sideline.
Report is brought to you by Ted Wiens Complete Auto Service. Another injury update, 2 of them. Dave Albert still not back in the game, still trying to stretch out that right foot that he hurt. I thought he said he got rolled on the tackle. That was an early kickoff return, and I mentioned earlier in the game he's kind of just back to the team in the last 4 games. Keep an eye on Casey Kane. He was having his right hamstring worked on, and we had talked about it during the week, the role that he's starting to emerge in. Malik Williams really trusts him a lot. There was some back and forth in a positive way in the last game at Oregon State with Hajj Malik trying to build Casey Cain's confidence. Like, I've got you on the corner. That corner is open. And a theme with him, I think, all season with the OC, Brennan Marion, has been you have to fight for the ball. It's important. You have to help out there, and you have to fight for the ball. So that 50-yarder was a big one. One important injury update. Late scratch in the week. There was an injury at the end of the week with Malik Chavis, one of the cornerbacks. He's actually started some games this year, so he's got an arm in the sling. I don't have an official diagnosis in terms of time that he's out, but that means that Cam Oliver is going to be used for more time today, and it is a good thing that Jarvis Ware is back. Back upstairs, Matt and Caleb.
And Caleb, we've seen a lot of defensive shuffling from the defensive line, but mainly in that defensive backfield. Barry Odom said in fall camp already that they wanted to cross-train all these guys, and that's proven to be a really important decision to get everybody in that defensive backfield at least proficient at just about every other spot.
Yeah, and it's shown that he's been able to trust a variety of different guys. We mentioned that last third and long. They went man across the board, man free across the board, so they had a lot of guys who he felt comfortable with guarding their receiver on an island one-on-one. So anytime you have that trust on the back end, it's going to pay huge dividend for your defense, especially when the injuries start to pile up late in the season. But offensively, UNLV has been humming so far in this ballgame. Jalen St. John, who was injured in the game last week, has been out there. He's been effective. UNLV has been effective offensively, pretty much getting whatever they want to this point. We'll see if they continue here. First down.
I see Cam Friel lined up on the right side of the play as a receiver. Rebels going from left to right to start the second quarter. They'll snap it from their own 37-yard line, leading 10-3. We'll see what tricks they have in store here. And the handoff up the middle. It's Jet Thomas in some space. Jet across the 30. He's down to the 25-yard line. Another first down for UNLV. Make it 4 first downs in their last 5 plays. EOS Fitness getting their money's worth for that first down sponsorship. And they get back to the line of scrimmage quickly. 3 receivers to the left, including Cam Friel. They'll throw it to him on the left side. Friel looking back. He looks for Hajj Malik Williams, and it's in and out of the hands at the 30-yard line. They try to double pass. Friel caught it, fired an errant pass that was behind Hajj Malik Williams. Jaden Virgin Morgan nearly had the easiest interception of the day, but it was incomplete. All that sets up a 2nd and 10 from the Boise State 25.
It's a heads-up play because if he doesn't get in between Cam Friel and Hajj Malik Williams on that throwback, it's a touchdown. There's a convoy in front of Hajj Malik Williams if that ball gets through. Rebels going to the bag of tricks. Unfortunately, incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10.
So Friel after his first catch of the year. Back to the sideline as Rebels will bring 2 running backs into the game. Hajj Malik Williams with the triple option. Fakes the handoff, fakes the pitch, and he'll keep it himself. He's wrapped up at the 21-yard line by Ty Benefield, who came in and held him up. And it sets up a Raising Cane's 3rd and 6 from the 21 with 14:20 to go in the second.
And this is a key point in the game. Hajj Malik Williams, you have to be smart here. You have points on the board. Protect the possession. Obviously, you want to keep it alive. Try to be aggressive and convert this 3rd down. Understand situations. You have a chance to make this a 2-possession ball game here if you're smart with the football.
Rebels at 38% in converting 3rd downs on the year. Ricky and Kaleo Ballanguy to the left of the formation. And before the snap, another pair of flags comes out.
False start, number 75, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Second false start penalty of the game for UNLV. A second of this drive going all the way back to the first quarter. That one down Anton Ambule, and it moves the chains back. Sets it up to a 3rd and 11 from the 26.
And this might change the play call here. Maybe just a handoff. Try to get some of the yards back and give Chittenden a better field goal attempt here situationally.
Kane, Irvin, and White, the 3 receivers on the right, along with the tight end Kaleo Ballanguy. Jet Thomas will stay in a pass block. Hajj Malik Williams rolling right. He is hammered in the backfield. Nowhere to go for Hajj Malik Williams as Jaden Virgin Morgan records his 6th sack of the season.
You can't take that sack there if you're Hajj Malik Williams. I think Chittenden's going to come out to try this one. I think he's got the leg for it, but it makes it definitely a lot tougher for your freshman field goal kicker. He's going to be lined up. Looks like he's going to set the spot at 52 yards here for the freshman.
He's made one from as long as 57 in high school. His career long with UNLV has been 46 yards. Ball right in the middle of the field. And on 4th and 19 with the ball being snapped from the 34. Lisk on the snap. Nichols on the hold. Chittenden gets it up and it's way short. It looked like it would have missed to the right as well. And the heavy rush of Boise State likely influenced that miss. Caden Chittenden missing for just the 3rd time in 21 attempts on the 2024 season. And the drive ends with nothing for UNLV. They run off 2 minutes of the second quarter, 13 minutes exactly to go in half number 1. Boise State will get fortuitous field position. They'll take over at the 34 on the other side of the commercial break. It's UNLV 10, Boise State 3 on the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
The Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino is ball. Hey, it's JVT. Start your Sunday with us at the Superbook. Watch the games on the huge 4K video wall with free admission and free parking. Plus, great prizes every week. See you Sunday at the Westgate with ESPN Las Vegas.
Attention, everyone. It's the warehouse moving sale at Best Mattress, and everything must go. That's right. All mattresses are on sale, and they've got to move fast. From twin to king size, we have a massive selection of top quality mattresses, and they're going at rock bottom prices. Save big on memory foam, pillow tops, and hybrids. Need financing? We've got you covered with hassle-free special financing. But hurry, because once we move, these deals are gone. This sale ends soon, so visit Best Mattress today. We don't just sell mattresses, we sell a better tomorrow.
Modelo is an official cerveza of the Las Vegas Raiders and the JT the Brick Show. Modelo Especial is a rich, full-flavored Pilsner-style lager, delivering a crisp, refreshing taste, brewed with fighting spirit since 1925.
UNLV football is brought to you by Southern Nevada Chevy dealers. With impressive towing, incredible bed and tailgate functionality, and those powerful engines, Chevy Silverado, Colorado, and Tahoe have what you need to get things done. When you want to do it all, Chevy's got you. See your Southern Nevada Chevy dealer and by our friends at Parkway Tavern, official partner of UNLV Athletics and your official home of Rebels on the road. With over 250 beers, 24/7 gaming, and 7 Valley locations, there's no better place to catch the game than Parkway Tavern. 13 minutes exactly to play in half number 1 as UNLV holds a 10-3 lead. That's the positive. The negative is that their last drive ended with nothing. Caden Chittenden missing on a 52-yard field goal, nowhere close. That one's set up by not only a false start penalty that turned out to be costly, but Haj Malik Williams taking a sack on third down that likely bumped Chittenden out of his field goal range.
Yeah, taking the sack on that third down is just something you can't do. I talked about it a little bit before the penalty. You'd have liked to just keep that ball safe and sound on the ground. Rebel offensive line has been able to move Boise State down the field and pretty much get what they want on the ground. So missed opportunity for the Rebels to make this a 2-possession game. But fortunate they still have a 7-point lead, 13 minutes to go. And with the way your defense has been playing so far, lights out in the first half. Plenty of rest over there on that sideline as that drive extended late in the first quarter into the second. But Boise State will have some pretty decent field position here starting from the 34-yard line. Going in.
All things considered, the UNLV defense has to be excited with the way they've contained Ashton Jeanty. 12 carries on 5 yards after averaging over 9 yards per carry, nearly 10 so far this year. He's averaging a whopping 2.5 per touch so far. Boise State going to go from right to left towards the north end zone with the torch and the view of the Las Vegas Strip. They'll start this one at their own 34-yard line, their best field position of the day as they trail by a touchdown. Jackson Woodard and Marcel McDuffie, the 2 linebackers out. Rebels with 5 defensive backs and 3 down linemen as Antonio Doyle drops back into protection. 2 tight ends, both motioning to the left side for Maddox Madsen. And right behind him, standing tall, is Ashton Jeanty. He gets the handoff off the left side. He is tripped up. Antonio Doyle just got a piece of Ashton Jeanty. He was going to go a long ways there. Instead, he's only able to pick up 6. A very, very fortunate, almost kick for Antonio Doyle.
It's a great job by Doyle getting a hand on Jeanty, who rarely goes down on such minimal contact, but that could have been disaster. He would have at least got to the second level, done some damage there, but second down for the Broncos.
Just his 6th touch of the game. He's lined up next to Madsen on the right side. With 2 receivers to each side of the formation. On play action, Madsen on the screen has a receiver over the middle, and it's caught for the first down at the 45-yard line by Prince Strawn. Cam Oliver came in to knock him down after the gain for the first.
Rebels are doing a good job not overreacting to the exit motion here that's meant to expand the defense out. Do a great job rallying on the RPO, making a tackle. Unfortunately, it's not before the chains are moved by the Broncos.
Maddox Madsen continues to be efficient. He is 6 out of 11. That one puts him over 30 yards on the game. First down and 10 to go from the Bronco 45-yard line. Madsen in the shotgun. On play action, fakes right. He'll roll to the left. Fires it to the hash mark. It's complete to the tight end. And he's hammered after the line to gain. And another first down. That one complete to Austin Bolt, who has 3 of the 7 receiving touchdowns for Boise State as a team. It was Jed Elad eventually bringing him up.
Play action, hard sell. Got the linebackers flowing one way. Bolt gets over the top before Marcel McDuffie can redirect in the interior. big-time gash on the play action.
Bolt lined up one-on-one at the top of the formation with Cameron Oliver. 2 tight ends, both on the left. Ball snap from the left side hash. Up the middle is Genty. Gets around Jackson Woodard. Breaks another tackle at the 25, or the 35, beg your pardon. He's eventually tripped up at the 32-yard line. Keith Conley Jr. dropped back from his defensive end spot and got in on that tackle. Broncos back to the line with under 11 to go in the first half. 2nd and 2 from the UNLV 32. And it's Genty again up the middle. Goes past a diving Jackson Woodard. First contacted at the 28-yard line. Pushes the pile, and he'll get enough to gain for the first. As they'll spot him at the 25. It was Antonio Doyle eventually stopping him. Jonathan Baldwin also in on the back end. Broncos to the huddle. On a 1st down and 10, they're going to snap it from the UNLV 26-yard line. 10-3 Rebels with 10:33 and counting to go in the second quarter. Joe Caples to the right, 2 tight ends to that side as well. Austin Bolt, the lone receiver, to the left. In the pistol is Genty. He's standing tall. They call him Michael Myers in the backfield because of the similarities. He gets it off the right guard, cuts it back up the middle. He is tripped up from behind. Alexander Whitmore coming in from his defensive tackle spot, wrapping up Genty after a gain of 3.
It looked like Jet Elad's asking for a hold. I agree with him. It looks like he got held as he came in and tried to make that run fit. Would have been a shorter gain. Fortunately, though, the Rebel defense rallies behind him. Multiple hats to the ball. That's how you have to play against Ashton Genty.
Both sides making substitutions here. Rebels trying to limit Genty, who had 21 carries for 153 yards and a touchdown on this very field in the Mountain West Championship game last year, a game that Boise State won handily due to 3 UNLV turnovers. 2nd down and 7 from the 22-yard line. Genty, the bell cow, who averages over 25 carries a game, back in there. He'll pass block as Madsen looks towards the end zone, fires to the paint, and it's incomplete on the near side. He was going for Austin Bolt, the Boise native, and the incompletion brings up 3rd and 7.
Tony Grimes on the coverage, trying to go double move there. Really only 2 receivers on the route. Trying to go to the one-on-one matchup. Grimes did a great job staying in the hip pocket. But another Raising Cane's 3rd down here for the Rebel defense, trying to get out the field and force a field goal attempt.
3rd down and 7 to go for Boise State. Madsen doesn't like the look. He'll change the play at the line of scrimmage. Everybody looking to the near sideline. He'll check with his offensive line with 7 on the play clock. He drops back into position. Genty's lined up to his left, and flags come out before the ball is snapped in the area of another false start with the play clock expiring. There's the referee, Nolan Dumas.
Illegal snap, number 72, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
It's one you don't see often. They call it on the center. Can't really call the false start on Zach Holmes, so the snap infraction instead moves it to 3rd and 12.
Rebel home crowd becoming a factor here. The noise definitely relevant. Some barking on the line of scrimmage. Madsen having a tough time getting things called. Backs him up to 3rd and long.
Everybody bunched in tight. 2 receivers and a tight end to each side. Madsen on 3rd and 12 to pass. He drops back, looks over the middle of the field, fires for Caples, and it's incomplete. Covered by Cameron Oliver. And it sets up a 4th down as Boise State will send the field goal unit onto the field. Ball snapped from the 27-yard line. When they do, that'll make it about a 45, beg your pardon, yard field goal.
Great job by Cam Oliver. Great job by the UNLV secondary, challenging these routes downfield, forcing the incompletion. Rebel defense holds again in the red zone.
It will be a 45-yarder for Jonah Dalmas, who's already made 1 kick today. Mason Hutton on the snap, the punter. Ferguson Reynolds on the hold. The kick is up. The low line drive with plenty of distance splits the uprights. And Boise State, for the 2nd time tonight, finds 3 points in the field goal game. But for the Rebel defense, that's just another victory, holding Boise State to 2 field goals and a punt in their first 3 drives. Got to be a victory at this point in the game. 10-6 UNLV with the lead. 9:22 left to play in the half. See if the Rebels can draw some time off the clock on this next upcoming possession. TV take a timeout. We'll take it with them. It's UNLV 10, Boise State 6 on the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
If your day sounds like, we need the report ASAP, you deserve Modelo. If you've persevered through, you deserve this rich golden lager with a crisp but refreshing taste. Or if you overcame,
2 more reps, 2 more.
you deserve this ice-cold reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
This great call in UNLV history is presented by T-Mobile. September 13th, 2024. A late 1-yard touchdown run by running back Kylan James helped the Rebels secure their first 3-0 start in 40 years.
Gives to Kylan James. He pushes towards the end zone. Rebels signal a touchdown, and the officials agree. That's a Rebel score, and they take the lead for the first time with a minute 51 to play in the fourth quarter.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get a great deal on iPhone 16 Pro.
UNLV going to get the ball on the kickoff coming up. They lead Boise State 10-6 with 9:22 to go in the second. Let's check in with Steve Cofield down on the sideline.
Well, continuing to monitor injuries in this game, and we'll see if Jacob DeJesus is going to be out there on this kickoff. I think it's probably going to be D'Angelo Irvin. DeJesus has been working on his knee. He's got a brace on the leg. We'll try to locate him here. But, yeah, he was working pretty hard on and looking sort of unpleasant trying to flex that knee. So we'll see what happens with DeJesus, not only on the kickoff returns and punt returns, but obviously if he's sidelined for a little bit here, someone else is going to have to step up in the wide receiving corps. So we'll send it back upstairs to Matt and Caleb.
And Caleb, DeJesus has made such an impact really in all three phases of the game. You can even include him on some defensive stuff. But, yeah, that would be a big loss if he were unable to go for any period.
Yeah, it would be a big loss, but we know that there's depth at that position with D'Angelo Irving. Basically, Jacob DeJesus is mini-me. And in the game against New Mexico last year, he almost took a punt return to the house as well. So he's dangerous in the return game. I think we're seeing here in the formation, Jacob DeJesus is not out there.
Jet Thomas, I forgot. Jet only has a kickoff return for a touchdown, so Jet's a pretty good backup.
Yeah, the depth is going to be fine in the return game. I think what you're going to miss is his decision-making and really the bravery on those punts to get up there and make those catches. A sure-handed guy in Jacob DeJesus, but as far as the production and yards, I think Jaden Thomas as well as D'Angelo Irving are plenty capable of being just as dangerous in the return game.
Yeah, Kylan James lined up back there as well. He's got a couple of kickoff returns on some shorter kicks. Out there to get it going is Jarrett Reeser with UNLV on top 10-6. This kickoff return team without Jacob DeJesus trying to set up some favorable field position. Reeser hits a high booming kick that sends Jet Thomas back to the 5. He'll watch it bounce at the 1-yard line before rolling through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Rebels will take over from their own 25-yard line. A little bit better than the 10-yard line where they started their last drive.
And there's an example of what I'm talking about. That ball bounced at the 2-yard line. If that takes a bad bounce for Jet as he just kind of strolls off and thinks it's going over his head, that could die in the field of play. And it could be a live football. So there's the kind of savvy of Jacob DeJesus on display. I'm sure Jet's going to get a talk to on the sideline. If it's not in the end zone, you got to make sure you catch it and fair catch it to get it out at the 25.
9:22 to go in the half. 10-6 UNLV on top, going from left to right. Ball snap from the far side hash on the 25-yard line. Two running backs in the backfield as Malik Williams fakes it to one of them. He tries to cut it up the middle himself, and he is tripped up after a gain of 1. It was Shea Oladipo, not fooled in that triple option look.
And D'Angelo Irving is on the field, and he's in the position that Jacob DeJesus is usually in when they go with that wide receiver / running back look in the backfield. And here D'Angelo Irving is lined up in the slot on the bunch formation with Ricky White and Kaleo.
Casey Kane all by himself on the left. It's Jet Thomas, or rather Kylan James, the running back in on the play. Ricky White motions out towards the far sideline. And on the snap, he gets it at the 35-yard line. Little pitch and catch from Malik to Ricky. And it's Amarion McCoy bringing him down. That ball spotted near the line to gain, but it looks like it'll be just short. Sets up a 3rd down and inches for this UNLV offense.
Rebels using the exit motion from the bunch formation there. Creates a soft shell for Ricky White. Taking advantage of it. Good completion out to that right sideline.
Irvin to the sideline. Christian Moore checks in as the Rebels will go a bit heavier. Moore lined up next to Malik Williams. Right behind him is Kylan James. Ricky's by himself at the bottom of the formation. Casey Kane's the only receiver on the left. On 3rd and inches, the give is up the middle. No, Malik Williams pulls it out. He'll get 2 yards for the first down. He is pummeled by a couple of Boise State defenders, including Oladipo and Andrew Simpson, 2 of the linebackers, but it's enough. Another EOS Fitness first down on the Williams run.
Yeah, Malik Williams just faking that handoff and following the running back up through the hole, almost turns into an additional lead blocker. Enough for the first down. Keep an eye on Ricky White going back and forth with some of these secondary members of the Broncos, getting a little chippy, maybe even trying to bait Ricky into some extracurricular activity.
Ricky and Corey Thompson into the game and on the left side of the formation. Moore on the right side of Haj. And on the left is Kylan James again. On play action, he'll look for Ricky at the top of the formation. It's knocked away and it's incomplete. That one was in and out of the hands of Corey Thompson. That one held up there for Amarion McCoy, who couldn't snag it. That would have been Boise State's 2nd interception, not of the game, of the year. They do not force a lot of turnovers. They almost had one handed to them there.
And again, talking about how they play from off coverage, but they're playing downhill. And the RPO game has been effective so far for UNLV, but they've had enough of that. They're coming aggressively downhill on those RPO throws.
Same formation as the previous play with Ballanguy, the tight end, on the left side. On 2nd down and 10 to go, James gets the handoff up the middle, squirts through to the 40-yard line, gets a yard past it inside of the 39. Andrew Simpson hammered him, and after a gain of 4, it'll set up 3rd and 6 with UNLV on top 10-6 with 7:20 to go in the second.
One coaching point at half for Hodge Malik Williams. There's a lot of late stems by the Bronco defense. You can manipulate the defense with your hands. If you're Hodge Malik Williams, you know every time you put your hands up, they're going to shift and give you their look. Use your hands to manipulate the defense. He's got to do it here on 3rd down.
Raising Canes, 3rd and 6 from the 41. 3 receivers to the left of the formation. Hodge Malik Williams puts it in the belly of Jet Thomas. Kylan James, rather, and he's tripped up in the backfield, getting in there and causing havoc for a couple of Boise State defenders. And after a loss on 3rd down, it sets up a 4th and 11 to go. It was Alex Tubner, the strong safety, coming in to bring him down.
We'll see Marshall Nichols for the first time. See if he can flip the field position here with a booming punt. Rebels, unfortunately, unable to cross midfield offensively.
His kick a high, booming end-over-end one. And Cooper Jones watches go into his own end zone on the Marshall Nichols touchback. That's just his 3rd touchback of the year and only the 10th in his 3-year career here at UNLV. So with a 10-6 lead, the Rebels content with the punt with 6:25 to go in the second quarter. Boise State's going to get the ball on the other side. UNLV 10, Boise State 6. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
All season, listen to Monday night and Thursday night football on Raider Nation Radio 920 AM with Sunday night football on Radio 1100 AM and 100.9 FM. Injured in a crash? Call Sam and Ash at 702-303-0333.
Modelo is an official cerveza of the Las Vegas Raiders and the JT the Brick Show. Modelo Especial is a rich, full-flavored Pilsner-style lager, delivering a crisp, refreshing taste, brewed with fighting spirit since 1925.
There's a new way to get to the game, M-Ride It. M-Ride is the luxury concierge shuttle service. It's the same bus the players use, so you can ride like a pro. M-Ride will take you round trip from Circa or the Palms to Allegiant Stadium or T-Mobile Arena. No more hassle parking, sitting in traffic, or waiting in long taxi or rideshare lines. M-Ride It, and you'll get in and out quickly. Reserve your ride at mridelv.com. Use promo code BRICK. That's mridelv.com, promo code BRICK.
10-6 UNLV with 6:25 to go in the second quarter. Rebel football is presented by the Southern Nevada Water Authority. Fall watering restrictions are now in effect through October 31st. It's crucial to play by the rules, so change your watering clock now. Here's the drill. Water your grass only 3 days a week, but for plants and trees, run your drip systems just twice per week. Find more winning water-saving strategies at snwa.com. A 4-point lead for UNLV, Caleb. The Rebels with a challenge here defensively. With 6:25 to go in the half, Boise State likely going to really turn the ball over to Ashton Genty and let their bell cow running back try to draw some time off the clock towards the half.
Yeah, and UNLV has gotten some rest defensively. It's been a pretty mixed bag as far as time of possession. So they're going to be up to the task. They've been able to get off the field in previous downs. Haven't given up a touchdown yet in this ball game. Knock on wood. Obviously, don't want to put the broadcaster jinx over the football game. But the Rebel defense should be well rested, and they've got plenty of stuff in the tank as far as what they've had to show here in this ball game. But so far, the Rebel defense is not shying away from the Ashton Genty problem. They are looking to be the first team this year to solve it. And through the first half, at least to this point, they've done a pretty good job. I'm sure they're eager for the challenge and not ducking any challenges.
Genty averaging over 200 yards a game on the ground so far tonight. 9 carries, just 35 yards. Rebels outgaining Boise State offensively, 207 to 134. They're leading in the rushing yards, 108 to 84. At this juncture of the game, Boise State with the ball on their own 20-yard line. And with 6:25 to go, they'll break the huddle. And bring out a bunch formation. 2 receivers to the right. Ashton Genty, the lone back in the pistol with Maddox Madsen standing on the 15. He takes the snap, turns right, gives to Genty in the backfield. He's into the space of the 25, across the 30. Jalen Catalon with the touchdown-saving grab, trips up Genty on the far sideline.
He trips him up, and for the Broncos, worst news, Ashton Genty is down. He is hurt on this play. It looked like Catalon rolled up on his ankle, and Jalen Catalon may have just knocked Ashton Genty out of the ballgame. He's up to his feet finally, but he was down for a long time, so much that the officials blew it dead for an injured player. And that might be the biggest development of the college football season.
Oh, yeah.
He's walking under his own power. Don't see much of a limp there, but Catalon definitely saved the touchdown, and now Genty will be forced to the sideline for at least one play.
So now the question becomes, what does Boise State do in terms of his replacement? They'll bring in the grinder, the 5'11", 240-pound, almost a fullback, Tyler Crow out of Nampa, Idaho, who has been as the fourth-string running back all year. Genty running towards his own sideline, getting cheers from the pretty good Boise State cheering section on the near sideline as Genty just now gets off the field of play. So on 1st and 10, ball on the 33-yard line, it's Crow lined up in the backfield. It's Madsen under center. He puts a man in motion from the bottom to the top of the formation. And on play action, Madsen back to pass. And it's incomplete on the tight end screen on the left side. He was looking for Matt Lauder. Wasn't really pressured, just threw it in front of him.
It's a good job by Jet Elad, who sniffed it out. He wasn't pressured, but just nowhere to go with the football. Only one man in the route on that tight end slip screen. And Jet Elad sniffs it out. He's all over it, forcing Madsen just to dirt it, really. And brings up 2nd down here for the Broncos.
For those curious, in the World Series, Game 1 is over. A Freddie Freeman walk-off grand slam, and the Dodgers 6-3 winners over the Yankees at Dodger Stadium. Here in Vegas, it's 10-6 UNLV, and the ball snapped from the 33-yard line of Boise State on 2nd down and 10 on the jet sweep. Coming in motion is Bolt. He's got it on the near sideline. He is hammered at the 45-yard line. Check that. That was Cameron Bates, who came in on the motion. And Bates tackled by Marcel McDuffie and Jet Elad after picking up the first. Hadn't seen a lot of Cameron Bates before then. We still don't see Ashton Genty out there. He does come back in. Genty back in and lined up to the left of Maddox Madsen. And on a 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. 5:20 and counting in the second quarter. Madsen takes the snap. The Rebels will send 4. He looks to pass. Fires it over the middle of the field. It's tipped, but it's caught at the Rebel 35-yard line. Moving towards the 30 and tackled to the 28 is Austin Bolt. Unbelievable awareness by Austin Bolt. That one tipped up by Jet Elad and fell right into his belly.
Jackson Woodard cut under that and could have had an interception. Barely through the outstretched hands, right into the hands of the receiver for a big play for the Bronco offense.
A field flipping completion puts the ball on the Rebel 29-yard line with under 5 to go in the quarter. Here's Genty on his first carry since coming back. Goes right side, and he is stymied. He picks up nothing as a host of Rebel defenders, including Lucas Conti, stand him up at the line of scrimmage.
It's a good job, discipline in your gaps by UNLV. Jackson Woodard able to finish the play off from his linebacker position, but the D-line there really made the play. Stout in their gap discipline, gave Genty nowhere to run but into the waiting arms of Jackson Woodard for the tackle.
2nd down and 9 to go. Clock continuing to wind. Boise State content to run a ton of time off the clock as they've now taken over in terms of the time of possession battle. Genty to the left, in motion from left to right is Camper. Madsen takes the snap with 3 on the play clock. He'll look to pass. He looks to the far sideline. Camper with a diving catch at the 26-yard line. And they'll call it a completion. They'll call it inbounds as the clock continues to wind. He just grabbed it over outside of Jarvis Ware on the dive.
Another Raising Cane's 3rd down here for the Rebel defense. Can they hold tight, force another long field goal attempt before the half? Obviously the crowd feeling the pressure of the moment gets to their feet again for this Rebel defense.
3rd and 7, ball on the far side of the field. 26-yard line where it's going to be snapped from. So far tonight, Boise State 1 out of 5 on 3rd down. 2 receivers left, the tight end to that side as well. It's Genty on the give. He'll try it through the right side. He picks up a couple, but it's not enough as Jackson Woodard, right place, right time. He trips him up and sets up 4th down and 2. Now a decision for Spencer Danielson and this Boise State coaching staff.
Rebels were late getting lined up there. Ashton Genty almost made the yards to gain, but looks like the Broncos are keeping the offense on the field. This is a big-time play in this ball game. Obviously, the Broncos understanding field goals aren't going to be enough. They're keeping the offense on the field.
Boise State 5 out of 7 on 4th downs this year. 4th and 2 from the 21-yard line. Ball on the far side of the field. Genty in the backfield. Watches as Madsen flips the play. Checks with his offensive line, and with 5 on the play clock, gets back into position. With 2 on the play clock, he takes the snap. He'll look to pass. He airs it to the far sideline, and that's complete. Inside the 10-yard line is the tight end, Matt Lauder. He is brought down at the 8, and a 4th down converted. All of a sudden, Boise State not only in the NV Energy red zone, they're at goal-to-go territory.
It's a tough route to cover. The corner from off coverage, Jalen Catalon couldn't quite make the play. Great coverage, about as best as you can put it, though, by Madsen. Putting it on the big tight end, low and away. Converts on the first 4th down attempt of the ballgame.
Third catch for Lauder. Madsen now with 10 of 18 for 104 yards passing. He goes under center with a bunched up formation on both sides. Bates in motion from left to right. On the snap, the give is to Genty. Genty tackled near the 5. They'll spot him at the 6. He picks up 2, and that'll get us to the 2-minute timeout with the ball on the 8-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and goal to go for Boise State on the other side of this 2-minute timeout. Rebels defense has been strong all day inside the red zone. No stop would be bigger than this one. 10-6 UNLV with exactly 2 minutes to play. We'll take a break for the 2-minute timeout. Back on the other side on the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
You can stay in touch with your favorite stations and shows, no matter your location, by simply downloading the free LV Sports Network app for both iPhone and Android. Go to the App Store or Google Play and search LV Sports Network. Download, and you are good to go. ESPN Las Vegas, Raider Nation Radio, Fox Sports Las Vegas, 1230 The Game. It's all part of the LV Sports Network and can all be streamed live on the LV Sports Network app. Download it today. Streaming sports in the palm of your hand. Isn't technology amazing? Judged by the company you keep.
There's buffet etiquette. I feel like the Cofield and Company crew understands. And in a buffet line, especially when it's free for everybody, nobody paid an exclusive price. We all wait equal turn to get our food, right? There's no jumping in line. It's like sitting in traffic and going all the way to the edge of the cone and going in the exit lane and then last minute knifing in front of traffic. You just don't do it.
It's Cofield and Company. Weekdays starting at 3.
We're coming out of the 2-minute timeout here in the second quarter of play between UNLV and Boise State. Rebels on top of the Broncos, 10-6, but the Broncos knocking on the doorstep of their first touchdown of the game. 2nd and goal to go from the UNLV 6-yard line. Rebels have bent but haven't broken all game as they look for another stop with their backs up against the wall. Here, Ashton Genty, Caleb, left for a bit, came back in. He's good to go, and for Boise State, they're going to need to be able to turn it and just hand it to him.
Yeah, and immediately when they got in this goal-to-go situation, they went with a 2 tight end formation, put Genty in the backfield, and handed it to their Heisman candidate. Rebels bottled them up, though. Short gain on that first down play. Tough sledding to try to stop Ashton Genty, though, 4 times in a row down here inside the 10-yard line. Can the Rebel defense do it? It would be a major development if they do hold this drive to a field goal and maintain the lead going in. Remember, they have the ball coming out of the halftime locker room. Also, on top of that, look for the Rebels to be aggressive about getting the ball back in this situation. If they do get the ball back, how aggressive will they be in terms of trying to score points on the back end of the end of this first half series? So we'll see. But the business at hand for the defense, trying to come up with a stop here inside the 6-yard line.
Rebels do get the ball to start the second half. So if they're able to make a stop, use some of the timeouts here to preserve the clock, they could have a pretty good chance for 3 at the least, 6 at the best. So everybody clearing the field as Boise State gets set on 2nd down and 6, or 2nd and goal, I should say, from the 6-yard line. They'll emerge as expected from the huddle with Ashton Genty lined up in the backfield. They'll motion a couple of tight ends all to the left side of the formation. Genty now behind Madsen in the pistol. Caples motions from left to right. Madsen calls for the snap. He gets it. He gives to Genty. He goes nowhere. Obliterated in the backfield. Coming in from his defensive end spot was Alexander Whitmore. He blew that play up before it started.
There's UNLV. I mentioned it, being aggressive here, calling that timeout. Not just to get your best defensive look out on the field, but also you want to try to be aggressive and flip this into a situation your offense can go down and get you points. Now, minute 56 to go, 3rd and 7. Obviously, Boise State playing it safe, calling a run play and trying to milk this and make this the last possession. But you want to give them something to think about here on this 3rd down. If they decide to put the ball in the air and you force an incompletion, then you save 2 timeouts for your own offensive attempt after what would likely be a field goal attempt on 4th down. But 3rd and 7, there hasn't been a bigger one of the season so far for UNLV. In this moment, can you get the stop? Again, the Broncos have to get a touchdown here. Goal to go. Can't move the chains. We'll see what 3rd and 7 brings.
And if you're Boise State, you almost have to run the ball here, right?
I would think so, but how aggressive do they want to be offensively, right? Madsen's been pretty money so far on this drive. Maybe they trust the quarterback to put the ball in the end zone.
They emerge from the huddle with the tight end to the right, 3 receivers to the left. Now one of those receivers, Bolt, goes to the top of the formation. Ball snap from the top of the formation at the 7-yard line. Genty in the backfield. They will pass. Madsen looking towards the end zone. He'll try to run it. He is hit at the goal line. He spins in for the touchdown. Jet Elad could not stop Maddox Madsen from running that one in. And on his second rushing touchdown of the year, Boise State takes their second lead of the night. It's 12-10 with 1:50 to go on the extra point pending.
And these are gut punch plays by Madsen. Again, you do everything right defensively. Just poor rush lane discipline, and Madsen makes you pay with his legs. And we talked about him not being the most athletic quarterback, but his legs have been the story of the day for the Broncos. The first touchdown comes on a Madsen keeper. Looking to make it 13-10 here with the extra point.
And Jonah Dalmas does make it 13-10 as he bangs that extra point through. Getting a look at the replay, too, Jackson Woodard slipped. He initially broke towards the end zone and then tried to slam on the brakes. The feet gave out. That's what allowed Maddox Madsen that wide open lane. So with 1:50 to go, 13-10, Boise State has the lead. The Rebels, as mentioned, do get the ball to start the second half. Try to do what they did in that game against Oregon State last week and have that big-time 4 minutes. Last two with the first half, first two with the second half.
And this is just the difference in the mindset of the quarterback you're going against. It wasn't until the second half, really, that the Rebels started to respect McCoy's legs after the 70-yard run he ripped off. Right now, the front four of UNLV are rushing the passer as if he's a statue in the backfield. And maybe that was the mentality going in, but after he's gashed you a couple times with his legs, now the rush lane discipline has to change. And if the quarterback run is going to be the option or the answer for the Broncos offense, I think you'll live with that for the Rebels defensively. But you're going to see an adjustment as far as the pass lane discipline on the rushes by the defensive front for UNLV.
Boise State, who led 3-0, watched UNLV scored 10 unanswered points. Now the Broncos with 10 unanswered points of their own and a 13-10 advantage as Reeser's going to line this one up at the 35-yard line and put a boot into it going from right to left. Jaden Thomas and Kylan James back there on the kickoff return, and this high end-over-end boot goes into the end zone for a touchback. So for UNLV, they'll start it at their own 25-yard line, going from north to south with $1:50 to play. They're going to try to be aggressive. 3 would be great. 7 would be a whole lot better at the end of the half.
Absolutely. If you go into halftime with a tie ball game, you got to be excited about where you stand, especially with some of the things that you know you can get corrected in the halftime locker room. Got to be a good feeling. But the business at hand here for UNLV, trying to get this offensive drive going with a first completion. Just get it off and running here. 2 timeouts in your pocket, 2-minute drill time.
Homecoming crowd watching the Rebels try to jump back out on top. Kane to the right. It's Irving and White to the left of the formation with Jet Thomas in the backfield. They'll fake it to him. They'll fire far side. Intended for Kane. It's in and out of the hands. Incomplete. He was guarded by Jeremiah Irby, the Cal transfer, who was all over Casey Kane on the incompletion.
It's a tough throw mechanically. Faking the backside play, flipping your hips and getting to the field out. Good footwork there by Hajj Malik Williams. Unfortunately, unable to connect with Casey Kane.
So on a 2nd and 10 from the 25, they'll line up in a very similar formation. Corey Thompson Jr. into the game, and Hajj Malik Williams in an empty backfield has 3 receivers to the right. He drops back, fumbles the snap, recovers in time, throws it over the middle, and it's in and out of the hands of Ricky White, incomplete. Don't have to call that a lot because the connection between Hajj and Ricky is so fine, but that one just in and out of the hands of Ricky.
Again, another bobble snap by Hajj Malik Williams. That's been one of the things he's struggled with. Not a bad snap by Jack Haas. Right in the hands, just bobbles it a little bit. Doesn't really affect the timing, but again, an uncharacteristic drop by Ricky White.
Rebels go 5 wide again on 3rd down and 10. Raising Kane's 3rd down with the ball on the 25-yard line right in the middle of the field. 13-10 Boise State as the Broncos call a timeout. They wanted to see the look that the Rebels came out of the huddle with.
Boise State, 30 seconds.
And they had trouble lining up to the empty look both times that UNLV has run it in this ballgame. Something that UNLV doesn't show often on film is that empty set. Broncos almost gave up a big play to Ricky White, if not for the drop on that previous play, but didn't get lined up to it on 3rd and 10. Now, interesting situation here for UNLV. You want to try to get this play inbound so that if you don't convert the first down, the clock is running, and at least you force the Broncos to call a timeout before punting it away. There's still plenty of time left here in this first half, and because you had 2 incompletions on your first downs, that clock hasn't moved. So the Boise State Broncos may be looking to be aggressive in terms of getting the ball back for their offense and try to add to this lead before the half. So how does UNLV attack it? Do they go for the change and be aggressive? I'm thinking maybe some sort of wide receiver screen here just to get the ball funneled and give your receiver a chance with yards after catch.
UNLV comes out of the timeout with the same formation. 3 receivers right, 2 receivers left, including Thompson And the running back, Jet Thomas. Now Jet Thomas motions to the backfield. He's off the left tip of Malik Williams. On 3rd and 10, Boise State shows pressure. They'll send 5. Hodge fires over the middle, and it's picked off. Going the other way is Andrew Simpson at the 20. He's on the far sideline at the 15, inside the 10. He is tackled at the 7-yard line. Andrew Simpson with just the second interception for Boise State defensively all year. And with 1:34 to go, they've got the ball inside the UNLV 10-yard line at the 7.
He stared that slant down way too long. Man coverage, you see it, but you have a free linebacker who's not affected by a route. If you're going to throw that slant, it has to be right out of the break. He holds it to the second window, and that's when the linebacker comes through. If you're going to throw that slant against man, it has to be right now. Hodge never saw that underneath linebacker. Interception at the worst time could result in points for the Bronco offense.
First pick for Simpson this year is his first in nearly 2 full years. The Broncos will go under center with Madsen, turning and handing it to Genty at the 7-yard line. Genty to the outside. Genty looking end zone at the 5. He's at the goal line for a touchdown. There's a flag out on the play in the area of the line of scrimmage, however, as Genty celebrates in the end zone. And the Broncos walking it back.
Holding, number 78, offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
Wow, Tyler Keeneth, the guilty party, the right guard, takes a touchdown off the board. Wow, so this one moved all the way back to the 12-yard line, 17-yard line, check that. Both sides will make some substitutions. So that makes it 1st and goal, even more so from the 17-yard line with 89 seconds to go in the half. 13-10 Bronco lead as the clock stopped as they break the huddle. One tight end to the left, 2 receivers to that side as well. Top of the formation is Prince Strawn. And they give it to Genty up the middle. He's met at the line of scrimmage. He goes nowhere fast. Genty gets absolutely nothing as Jet Elad came in from his safety spot and combined with Jackson Woodard on the stop.
Big time stop in the middle by the Rebel defense. Helped out by the penalty. Back this up, no doubt about it. But UNLV trying to stop the bleeding after the uncharacteristic interception thrown by Malik Williams. This ball going to be snapped inside a minute left. 2nd and 17. Goal to go again, as you mentioned. Broncos got to put it in the end zone on this set of downs.
Genty with 54 yards on 15 carries, not nearly as efficient as he's used to. The tight end Lauder in motion from right to left. Ball snapped from the right side hash. Madsen rolls left, look to the backside, fires to the back of the end zone, and it's incomplete. Strawn was double covered, I should say, by Jarvis Ware and Jalen Catalon. He was just trying to get that one out of dodge and stop the clock with 43 seconds left.
It's a great job. That play is designed to be a rollout to the field. It's a good job by Fisher K-Max setting the edge and forcing Maddox to pull up short. And then a good job by Catalan and Ware on the backside, staying home for the throwaway. Maddox just really threw that away. 3rd down, clock stops at 43. And the Broncos will call another timeout here to think about what they want to do.
Second, charge them out of the half. Boise State, 30 seconds.
Broncos will have 1 timeout remaining, but with 43 seconds left, it may not matter. They've got the ball on a 3rd and goal. Raising Cane's 3rd and goal from the 17-yard line. And for UNLV defensively, they can basically, Caleb, correct me if I'm wrong, line up within a couple of yards of the goal line and say, hey, don't back up any further than this.
Yeah, they could do the G7 look if they want to and try to keep everything in front of them. But with a guy like Ashton Chinty, who can make tackles or break tackles when he gets the ball in space, I wouldn't be soft in the coverage by any means. And also, with the way that Madsen has affected this game with his legs, you have to be mindful as a rusher. Even if this is an obvious passing situation with 3rd and 17, you can't get past the level of the quarterback. Have to have good rush lane discipline here on this 3rd down. Fisher K-Mac will check out. Rebels go with an extra defensive back out on the field.
They've got 5 men lined up on the line of scrimmage, including Jackson Woodard, who's over top of the center. Genty to the right of Madsen. 2 receivers left. A tight end and a receiver to the top of the formation. Ball snapped on 3rd and goal from the 17. Madsen to pass over the middle of the field. It's complete at the 4-yard line. Knocked down at the 2 is Cameron Kemper. He was held up by a couple of defenders. Jalen Catalon and Jarvis Ware came in and laid the boom at the end.
Now the Broncos thinking about going for it here on 4th and 2.
Clock continues to wind under 30 seconds. 4th and goal from the 2-yard line. There's 23 seconds with the Broncos turning to the sideline. They don't seem to be in any rush to not only get the playoff, to even call a play in.
And they look like they have 1 timeout left. They may burn this timeout before taking this 4th down play.
Yeah, they will here. Was wondering when it was going to come.
3rd and final, a charge them out of the half. Boise State, 30 seconds.
Because once you get down to 15 seconds or less and just the one time out on a fourth down play, your decision has really been made at that point. You don't have time for 2 or 3 plays.
Yeah, and right now you're playing with house money. This is fourth down. If you go for it and don't get it, UNLV will have literally 5 or 6 seconds to have one offensive snap inside the 2-yard line. They'll probably just take a knee or quarterback sneak to wind out the half. If you kick the field goal, you're still only up 1 possession. So analytically, the numbers say go for it. It's the most rewarding outcome here if you go for it. I think they just wanted to waste all the time down that they could to make sure that UNLV didn't have a chance for anything crazy on the backside of their play. But with that completion on 3rd and 17, this is why you didn't want to get too soft in coverage, because now the decision for the Broncos is we may decide to go for it. And Ashton Genty's trotting back out onto the field, and that's one of the most feared men in all of college football, especially when he only has 2 yards to go.
Boise State leads 13-10. They're trying to take advantage of Hajj Malik Williams' 3rd interception of the year right before the half. 4th and goal from the 2-yard line. The biggest crowd in a UNLV game at Allegiant Stadium on their feet as Boise State goes to the huddle. They're heading towards the north end zone with the torch. They need 2 yards to pay dirt. They bring in the heavy package with 2 tight ends to the right, including a defensive lineman. Genty in the backfield. Maddox Madsen in the shotgun. Man in motion. Maddox rolls to the right. He looks end zone. He fires, and that's complete to Lauder in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. On 4th and goal, the gamble pays off, and Maddox Madsen on his 13th passing touchdown of the year finds Matt Lauder, and the decision pays off. It's 19-10 pending the extra point. Six seconds remain in the half as the extra point unit comes out onto the field. Jonah Dalmas, the conference's all-time leading scorer, lining things up. As the snap's good, the hold's down, and Dalmas's 200th career PAT made makes it a 20-10 Boise State lead.
This is a game of inches. It's a game of situations. Rebels, for one of the few times in the year, do not execute effectively in critical situations. First, Hajj Malik Williams on a 2-minute drive throws an interception. Even if you don't move the ball at all, if you punt it away at least, give your defense a fighting chance with field position, whole different situation. But Rebels give up 17 unanswered points in the late stages of the second quarter. And we got a whole new ball game and a whole new situation. Fortunately for the Rebels, they will get the ball coming out of the locker room with an opportunity to get back into one possession game. But the Broncos, with a commanding effort here to close out the half, take control before the locker room break.
I mean, with the Rebels on top 10-3 and driving, we were this close to it being a 17-3 UNLV lead. All of a sudden, 17 unanswered Boise State points makes it 20-10 Broncos. And they'll kick things off here as they try to wrap up half number 1 with a 10-point lead. Remember, the Rebels get the ball coming out of the halftime break. Jarrett Reeser kicks a short one down the near sideline. Jet Thomas comes up and grabs it at the 19-yard line. He'll cut it towards the sideline across the 25. Looks back inside across the 30. Is inside the 30. Tackled at the 33-yard line with zeros on the clock. Tackle made by Seth Noth, the safety. And Boise State holds a 20-10 halftime lead. We'll wait a moment as both teams clear the field. Steve Cofield going to be joined by Barry Odom. We'll be really interested to see what he had to say. The Rebels, Caleb, though, holding Ashton Genty to just 54 yards on 15 carries. That in itself, outside of the score, has to count as a somewhat small victory.
It looks like UNLV is actually some discussion. The refs are maybe trying to say there's more time on the clock, but holding Ashton Genty under 100 yards and a half really is a feat for any defense. But the officials are actually going to say there's going to be 1 second left on the game clock because Jaden Thomas actually went down with 1 second left. They're going to force both teams back to the sideline for one final snap, which is a bit of a strange thing. I think both coaches kind of agreed, no, take it into half.
On the game clock, please put 1 second. It'll be 1st and 10, UNLV at the 33-yard line.
Yeah, this is one of those ones where you would think that if both coaches get together and say, yeah, I'm going to take the knee, that's going to be it, and save yourselves a little bit of the trouble. But, hey, Rebels offense is going to get one more snap before the half.
Yeah, I wish the officials displayed this much effective efficiency when it comes to getting calls right and getting flags right. Yeah, we got to make sure we do it by the T. Obviously, that 1 second is vital. One more offensive snap logged, time of possession, I guess.
It does aid the Rebels in the field position battle as well, with this one going to be snapped from the 33-yard line. They come out of the huddle and off the sideline in the victory formation, so to speak, and Malik Williams does take the knee, and the clock does finally strike 0 at the half. So now it's a 2010 halftime advantage for Boise State as they'll cross over in front of UNLV. The Rebels heading towards the near sideline. UNLV outgained by Boise State, 231 to 207. We'll have plenty more coming up on our halftime show presented by IBEW and Nika. I'll be really interested to hear what Barry Odom has to say when he catches up with Steve Cofield about that half. There was a lot to like, a lot to improve on, and the Rebels will get the chance right off the bat. And here's Steve with Barry Odom on the sideline.
All right, halftime with Barry Odom. Obviously, the last 3 minutes, not what you wanted. So what are you going to tell the guys at the break?
Yeah, we got the ball starting the second half. We got to go make something happen. We can't turn it over. We knew it was going to be a tight game. We can't have those errors. There
were a couple opportunities to the tight end. So defense.
A little bit tighter in our coverage. I mean, we've done good against the run, but we've got to stay solid in there. Quarterback is buying a little too much time, so we have to pressure him up.
All right, Coach, thank you. Here he is, Barry Odom at the break. The conversation brought to you by Ted Weens. Complete auto service. We'll send it back up for the halftime with Matt and Caleb.
And Caleb, Barry Odom making a point there that you had made as well, this UNLV defense, playing Maddox Madsen like he's not a guy that can run. He's shown the wheels already tonight.
Yeah, and that's a mental adjustment more than anything for a defensive pass rusher and for your linebackers. Obviously, you want to get underneath the routes and your drops, but you have to be mindful of the quarterback. He's escaping, and if you can keep him bottled up and contained, I think he wiped some of those plays he's made with his legs and extending plays. You feel pretty good about the second half. 10-point deficit, definitely not insurmountable. There have been worse situations for UNLV on this season. And I think what we've seen from this team, they have plenty of stuff in the tank to be able to pull off a comeback in the second half. Again, got to play clean as far as turnovers. Can't have penalties derail drives and opportunities for points with sacks. Plenty of stuff to be happy about. Coming out of the locker room, you got to make those adjustments. You got to be ready to fight to the finish against a good Broncos team.
Coming up on our halftime show presented by IBEW and Nika, we'll take a look at first half stats and figures. We'll also be joined by the region president of Intermountain Health, Mitch Clower, talking about Intermountain's recent Children's Hospital announcement here in Las Vegas. And we'll also be joined by the commissioner of the Mountain West Conference, Gloria Navarez, will stop by during our halftime show. All that and more coming up next. Halftime show presented by IBEW and Nika coming right up. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
Listen to Sunday Night Football live only on ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM, KWWN, Las Vegas.
When it comes to your home comfort, there's no question you deserve excellent service. Just say yes to home service tune-ups by relying on the pros at Yes Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Electric. Call the Yes Man today at 702-888-4937 and get $50 off any HVAC, plumbing, or electrical repair over $200. Visit theyesmancan.com for details, terms, and conditions. Yes, official partner of UNLV Athletics. License number 71246, 71233, 87262, EAS 0074696.
The offense is in motion, trying to catch the defense off guard. They're looking for an advantage, just like your competitors. But your business doesn't have to be an easy target. Les Olson IT is your playbook for success. We'll analyze your business needs, identify opportunities, and create a customized technology strategy to help you win. Touchdown. That's how it's done. Achieve your business goals with Les Olson IT. Let's make some big plays together.
Les Olson IT.
Pueblo Medical Imaging is a proud sponsor of UNLV Athletics and provides services at 4, soon-to-be 5 locations throughout Southern Nevada. PMI is your one-stop shop for all your radiology needs, with state-of-the-art equipment and accessibility for fast and accurate diagnoses to get you back to doing what you love. PMI is Las Vegas's preferred radiology provider. For more information, go to PMILV.com. Go Rebels!
What's better than a credit card with a low interest rate? How about one with no interest? For a limited time, when you open a new America First Visa, you'll enjoy 0% APR purchases for the first 6 months. Yep, all that buying power and not a single cent of interest for 6 months. That means no interest on summer fun, no interest on back-to-school gear, and no interest on holiday shopping. Interested? Then hurry to AmericaFirst.com to apply for yours today. Introductory variable annual percentage rate. Membership eligibility terms, creditworthiness, and conditions apply. See AmericaFirst.com/Visa for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
This is Rebels Halftime, brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 357, and the Southern Nevada chapter of the National Electrical Contractors Association, your Las Vegas power professionals.
Back at Allegiant Stadium for our halftime show presented by IBEW and NECA. UNLV trails Boise State 20-10. At the halftime break, Broncos outgaining the Rebels 231-207. And after that last drive, the Broncos, thanks to the 2-yard run from Maddox Madsen to take that 10-point lead, now outrushing the Rebels 110-108. But of course, Ashton Genty limited at just 54 yards on 15 carries. We'll talk plenty more about the game, but taking things away here as we are joined by the region president of Intermountain Health, Mitch Cloward, on our broadcast. And it's been a busy week for everybody in the UNLV program. It's been a busy week for you guys at Intermountain Health as well. The Children's Hospital announcement, really the talk around town as far as the big developments, especially in that southwest area of town. Tell us a little bit more about the announcement. What are we going to be looking at in that area?
Absolutely. It was a big announcement for the state of Nevada, for healthcare, and for children. So Las Vegas is one of the largest cities in the country without a dedicated children's hospital. And Nevada is only one of about 10 states in the country that doesn't have a dedicated children's hospital. So this is big news.
And how is this going to affect healthcare access for families in the region? What does it mean to have that dedicated children's hospital?
Children with complex healthcare issues often have to leave the state. That's so disruptive. They either go to Utah, California, or Arizona, and it's incredibly disruptive to the families. And so we're going to be able to provide that care close to home.
You know, Intermountain Health, a longtime partner of UNLV Athletics. It's a partnership that it really means a lot to both sides. What role do philanthropic donors and community partnerships like that play in bringing this children's hospital project to life? And how can the public get involved in some of this stuff?
So this is a $1 billion project. And we will care for every child who comes through our doors regardless of their ability to pay. So philanthropy plays a significant role in helping us to accomplish those goals for these children.
Joined here by Intermountain Health Region President Mitch Cloward, talking about the new Children's Hospital announcement that Intermountain Health is helping with. How is this new hospital going to integrate with existing pediatric services in the region, ensuring that seamless healthcare experience for the families like you mentioned?
I want to make sure that we complement all of the physicians, the nurse practitioners, the physician assistants, the hospitals, all the healthcare organizations for so many years who have cared for children. So that's the foundation that we build upon. We want a seat at the table. Together, we'll advance healthcare for children as we pursue this dedicated children's hospital.
And with the hospital still in the early stages, what timeline should the public expect for its completion, and what milestones are going to be the most important over the next couple of years?
Yeah, milestones are we sent out an RFP for an architectural firm to begin design. So by the end of the year, we'll begin design. That'll take us through most of next year. By the end of next year, we'll have a groundbreaking, and then we anticipate opening the hospital in early 29.
I'm pretty good with the shovel, although I don't know if I could help with the groundbreaking necessarily for a project like this. Last one for you, Mitch. Intermountain and UNLV recently held an event with some of our UNLV athletes and UNLV athletics team called The Strongest Play is Asking for Help. Can you share the outcome of that event and what Intermountain is doing to help with mental wellness on top of physical wellness on top of the mind?
Yeah, absolutely. Mental health is really the number one healthcare challenge that we face in this state and many states throughout the country. So we're trying to raise awareness. We met with student athletes. We met former and current athletes, and we talked about stress and anxiety. You think about these student athletes in the classroom and the pressure to perform on the field. So we talked about resources and the importance of being safe to talk about it and to put your arm around someone else who's struggling with that. Because if we're honest with ourselves, most of us have dealt with a mental health care issue. And so awareness and resources and talking about it, I think, is a first step.
Absolutely. And lastly, the most important question of this entire interview. Are you having fun at this game? What's this environment like out there in the bowl?
So we've been down on the field, now up here in the radio box, and it's been phenomenal. The energy's great. Love the game, love UNLV, love our partnership. Excited for the second half.
Hey man, you got two of the best seats in the house to watch what's been a really, really exciting game. 20-10 at the half. We really appreciate you. Mitch Cloward, the region president for Intermountain Health, talking about that new children's hospital that's going to change lives in the region. We appreciate all that you do for the region and for UNLV. We appreciate you for stopping by our broadcast.
Thank you very much.
Coming up, we'll be joined by the commissioner of the Mountain West Conference, Gloria Navarez, stops by. We'll also check in on our first half stats and figures. All that and more coming up on the halftime show presented by IBEW and NECA.
You hear it all the time. Lawyers talking about all their experience. Many years of experience insurance companies, and experience in the courtroom. But what you don't hear much is about the results. At Lerner and Rowe, we're proud of our results because that's how we measure our success. We've helped over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars, with over $1 billion just in the last 5 years alone. When you want results, call Lerner and Rowe.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 877-1500.
Multi-state settlements. Randy Westbrook, managing attorney.
You have a growing company, and you need to get your employees trained for a commercial driver's license. Let Truck U CDL Training of Las Vegas drive your company's growth and success. No matter how large or small your company is, Truck U offers corporate rates for CDL A and B training. Class schedules are available days, evenings, and weekends, with little or no loss to your company's productivity. Check out truckulv.com to find out more. That's truckulv.com.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
Halftime show presented by IBEW and NECA continues. Matt Everett, Caleb Herring, Steve Cofield from Allegiant Stadium, where the Broncos lead UNLV 20-10. We're joined now on our halftime show by the commissioner of the Mountain West Conference, Gloria Navarez. We appreciate you taking a couple of minutes. It's been a busy week, busy fall, really a busy year for the Mountain West Conference. This game, Gloria, between UNLV and Boise State, one of the most exciting matchups that we've seen so far. It was one of the most hyped games around the so-called peer conferences around all of college football, and the hype for this one certainly palpable. Well, what's been your experience here today at Allegiant Stadium?
Well, one, the atmosphere is unbelievable. There's so much energy. What a great high-level game. And as you referenced, this has postseason consequences. We are playing for a CFP playoff berth.
And it's not only here today, there's a lot of great games going on around the Mountain West Conference today, including San Jose State and Fresno State, of course, Colorado State and New Mexico with some Mountain West championship game implications. The strength of the Mountain West in terms of football right now has never been better around the conference.
No, I would agree. And again, the meaning that it has, that the conference champion has a shot at getting into this expanded football playoff, is something that former Commissioner Craig Thompson and others worked really hard for, and this is the reason why.
Absolutely. And this game, just one of the many things going on in your world. It's been a busy fall for you, as mentioned, with conference realignment, some of the additions, the subtractions going on across the Mountain West. What has that experience been like for you overall?
Well, it's, used to be that conferences didn't change but once every couple decades, and now it just seems to be our everyday. I couldn't be more pleased with the schools that are staying in the Mountain West and how we've bonded together, and I think there's a lot of excitement for the future. And our two newest, air quotes around the second one, members in UTEP, and then converting Hawaii to a full member, the leadership of both institutions are so excited and ready to step up and compete.
And not done adding, right? The Mountain West looking at other schools, talking to some other schools. What's next on the docket as far as conference realignment from the Mountain West side?
Well, our first priority was getting to 8 to retain our NCAA FBS status. And certainly we want to continue to analyze expansion, but, the pace is certainly, we can take a deep breath and take a deeper analysis as we move forward.
It kind of felt like there was like a first wave and then a second wave, and now we're getting a nice little break as the football season kind of progresses.
Exactly.
Joined here on the halftime show by Mountain West Commissioner Gloria Navarez. You were just out here last week. We got a chance to talk at Mountain West Media Day for basketball combined with the WCC. All of a sudden, approaching hoops season. What goes into that for you on the commissioner's side?
Can you believe it?
How about it?
It's already here. No, yeah, we were here for Media Day, which is fantastic. We're here for this game. We're coming back for our volleyball championship at Well, and as you know, we're bringing our conference office here maybe 12 to 18 months when our lease is up. So very excited, and basketball season, we couldn't be more thrilled because, last year we had 6 teams on the men's side, and certainly the Lady Rebels on the women's side just continue to impress.
6 different teams getting first place votes this year on the men's side as well. It's going to be wide open. Lastly for you, Gloria, how does this conference realignment and all the things that go into it impact the negotiation side for the Mountain West when it comes to new TV deals?
Our deal is expiring in 26, so we have been in the market actively, kind of positioning for that. This realignment certainly adds a different flavor to it, but I feel really good about the time zones we represent, the brands we have in the league, and games like this.
Yeah, good balance all the way across the board. Well, I'll finish things up by putting you in our shoes. I'll put you on the spot. Give me a prediction for the second half of this game, good, bad, and different. It's going to be fun. What's one thing you think is going to happen in the second half?
You know what? I'm going to dodge this question because inevitably there's nothing I could say that is right except that this is going to be really exciting and really high-quality football.
Hey,
How about that?
That counts. That counts absolutely as an applicable answer to the question. Well, we really appreciate you taking a couple of minutes. I know we're not your only stop. I know you are a very busy person today, so thank you so much. Mountain West Conference Commissioner Gloria Navarez for joining us on the Halftime Show.
Thank you.
2010, UNLV trails against Boise State. Coming back, we're going to take a look at some halftime stats and get you set for the start of the third quarter. This is the Halftime Show on the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
When your home needs a comfort tune-up, just say yes to service from the pros at Yes Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Electric. With licensed technicians, service 7 days a week, and an exceptional service guarantee, you'll always have true comfort and peace of mind. Call Yes Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Electric, official partner of UNLV Athletics, at 702-888-4937. Or visit theyesmancan.com to schedule your appointment today. License number 71246, 71233, 87262, EAS 007 4696.
Serving communities, citizens, and workers in Las Vegas since 1931. Las Vegas Power Professionals, IBEW Local 357, and Southern Nevada NECA have provided tens of thousands of electrical industry careers for Southern Nevada families. To find out more about the union electrical construction industry, visit lvpowerpro.org. That's lvpowerpro.org.
It's a blitz. The quarterback scrambles, looking for an open receiver. Nope, sacked. That's how you stop a big play. Now, imagine your business as the quarterback. You need a strong team to support you. Les Olson IT is your offensive line, protecting your business and helping you score big. We're talking touchdowns for your bottom line. Visit lesolsonit.com for a free technology assessment. Let's make some big plays together.
Les Olson IT.
You've heard the saying, girls just want to have fun. Well, so do guys. If there's one thing people really hate, it's being bored. So as they say, go south, people. To the South Point. Still providing free parking. You'll love the action. First-run movies at the cinema. And dining is so delicious your tummy won't believe it. 11 restaurants plus live shows, headline shows, bowling, incredible pool area. Just for relaxing after all that action. Your entertainment destination is south, my friends. The South Point. Drop by this week and have some fun.
There's something beautiful happening in Las Vegas. Life in some.
I love watching my child grow through football, learning values and life skills that extend beyond the playing field. Now, there are more ways to play than ever before, from flag to tackle and beyond, with opportunities for boys and girls at any age. To find the right team, explore FutureForFootball.com's new League Locator tool and explore nearby leagues. It's never been easier to get your family involved in the game.
Both teams on the field and getting loose for the start of the second half. We welcome you back to Allegiant Stadium, where Boise State leads UNLV 20-10. Boise State scoring 17 unanswered points in the second quarter. And Caleb, we were talking at one point about it potentially being 17-3 UNLV. My, oh my, how quickly the game turned on its head. Boise State now outgaining UNLV 231-207, out-rushing the Rebels 110-108. The big one in this game, though, Caleb, is that neither side has really had any measure of success on third down. UNLV 2 for 6, the Broncos 2 out of 8. That's got to be a victory for UNLV. Ashton Genty with just 54 yards rushing in the first half. Got to be another small consolation win for the Rebels.
Yeah, one of the big differences is fourth down conversions. Rebels were able to stop the Broncos on most of the third downs, but 2 fourth down conversions really are the difference in this ballgame. One, keeping the first touchdown possession alive, and then the second being the last touchdown of the second quarter. And that's what has led those 14 points to this 20-10 lead. So looking at the totality of that circumstance, if you're UNLV, it's not time to panic down 10. And if you go back to a possession that you mentioned, you were looking at the Rebels potentially going up 17-3. Instead, they had a penalty, a false start, back them up 5 yards, and then a sack knocked them out of field goal range. And really, a game of 30 minutes, you can take those 4 plays or so, and it's a totally different ballgame. And that's the difference when you're playing good football teams and when you're playing high-level football. 4 plays can be all the difference. Of course, to end the half as well, talking about the Hajj Malik Williams interception. He's been the model of efficiency as a quarterback. Another turnover. That makes it 3 interceptions on the season for him. But that one came at such a critical time. Gave the opportunity for Boise State to make this a 2-possession game and essentially make this a must-score possession coming out of the halftime locker room. The Rebels will get the ball after the Broncos won the toss and elected to receive the first half kickoff. But this, because it's a 2-possession ball game now, you got to figure for UNLV is a must-score. It's not going to be desperation must-score, but you got to put some points on the board here, make this a 1-possession game, and stay in contact. Because if you let Ashton Jeanty be the bell cow in the second half, you've held him under 100 yards in the first half. Probably one of the first times this season that's happened. He's not even the leading rusher. Madsen is the leading rusher on the Broncos. How many times have we said that?
Yeah.
But if you allow him to have a 2-possession lead, they will take the air out of the football here in the second half and lean on Ashton Jeanty.
One thing to keep an eye on as well is the status of Jacob DeJesus. Steve Cofield mentioned that he was hobbled at the end of the first half. Hasn't been out there for either of the last 2 kickoff returns, and he's not out there for this one either. It's Jet Thomas and Kylan James split back deep. Rebels will start this third quarter, going from left to right. Ready to get it underway on the kickoff is Jarrett Reeser as Boise State emerges on top by 10. They took a big-time momentum swing to a 10-point halftime lead thanks to 17 unanswered in the second quarter. Reeser puts boot in the ball, hits a high end-over-end kick to the far side. It's grabbed by James at the 6-yard line. He cuts it towards the middle of the field. He's at the hash mark of the 15. He's on the near side of the 20, across the 25-yard line. Stiff arms the defender and goes out of bounds on the Boise State sideline right at the 30-yard marker. It's a 24-yard return for Kylan James. He showed off that bruising style.
Yeah, getting all the way across the field. Shows some speed as well, deceptively. Getting it all the way across the field. Delivers a stiff arm. Grown man style. Derrick Henry would be proud. But that was a great stiff arm, good return, and good starting field position for the first offensive possession of the second half for the Rebels. Malik Williams, last play out through that interception. He'll be looking to clear the mechanism. Comes out here with a 2 tight end formation. Ricky White to the right. And Jet Thomas flanking him in the backfield.
Hodge was 6 out of 13 for 99 yards passing in the first half. 1 touchdown, 1 interception as well. He's got 2 running backs in the backfield. Fakes it to Jet Thomas. He drops back and fires to the far side. It's complete at the 41 to Ricky White. He's across the 50. He's into Boise State territory at the 46-yard line. Ricky White with a first down catch. His 4th grab of the game is his longest, and the Rebels already in plus territory.
Again, 2 tight end formation. Find some space off the play action on first down, early down play action. A lot of space on the back end. Great job by Ricky White finding a window in that second level.
24-yard pitch and catch gives the Rebels the ball at the Boise State 46-yard line. 2 running backs to the right of Malik Williams as he puts it in the belly of Jet Thomas. He cuts it off the right tackle, bounces off a defender at the 45. He squirts inside to the 44. And after he's eventually wrestled down by Ty Benefield and Alex Tubner, the 2 safeties that have been on the line of scrimmage all day.
Great job by Jaden, breaking a couple tackles in there, fighting for some extra yards. Shows that Ashton Jensen's not the only running back who can break tackles and get yards after contact, fighting for every inch. 2 yards on first down.
Both teams with 110 yards rushing in the game. Ballanguy and Moore, tight ends to the right. There's 2 receivers to the left, and Jet Thomas all by himself lined up outside on the right. An empty backfield for Malik Williams. Boise State sends pressure. Hodge fires to the far sideline. That's caught by Jaden Bradley at the 41-yard line. He was covered very tightly by Amarion McCoy. First catch for Bradley today is his 5th of the year.
Again, off coverage, but they're playing downhill. They're going to give you free access release, but they're going to count on rallying to make those tackles. They do instantly on the catch there.
3rd down and 4. Ball snap from the far side hash mark. On play action, Malik Williams rolls right, tries to get it around a defender. He gets inside the 40. He's down to the 35-yard line on the right side before being ushered out of bounds. They're going to spot him at the 34. That's the line to gain, and then some for Ashton Jeanty as there's a banged-up Bronco in the backfield. That's Shea Oladipo, who's been an impact player. He missed the tackle and went down holding the shoulder. He jogs to the sideline now. But Malik Williams' 8th run of the day gives him 67 yards total. Gives the Rebels an EOS first down. 2010 Boise State here early in the 3rd. Ball on the 34-yard line on 1st and 10. Moore, the fullback to the right. Jet, the running back to the left. And on the pass, Malik airs it out looking for Bradley, and it's incomplete on the left sideline. He was trying to go to him at the 10-yard line. Didn't really see Jaden Bradley at all in the first half.
Going to the one-on-one coverage, it's zone. And if Malik Williams uses his eyes there, he can get that safety off the hash, and he has Kaleo Ballanguy down the seam for a potential big play. Unfortunately, misses the big tight end, and an incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10.
Clock stopped at exactly 13 minutes to go. It's Irving on the left, 2 receivers to the right. Play action up the middle. Pass complete at the 34-yard line. That's to D'Angelo Irvin Jr. Zion Washington bringing him down after a gain of 4. And sets up a third down and a long 3. Still no Jacob DeJesus here in the third.
And D'Angelo Irvin is a speedster, so if he gets the ball in space, he can make some things happen. Broncos rally and make the tackle. But a third and short here. Rebels still have the entire playbook open offensively because of the yards gained there. No hold because of a substitution by the Rebels, and now get this third down ready to go.
More Irvin and White on the right side of the formation. Now White in motion to the left. He's out there with Irvin. On the play action, Malik Williams will keep it himself. He's inside the 25, makes a move inside the 20. He's tackled at the 18-yard line by Alex Tubner. That's another third down converted with the legs by Malik Williams. The Rebels now 4 for 8 on third down. That 9-yard gain sets them up in the NV Energy red zone.
Again, the edge pressure coming. Malik Williams able to make the defender miss and knife inside. Rebels have had good yardage on the edge blitzes that the Broncos have brought.
Trips right again. Thompson by himself on the left. Jet Thomas lined up to the right of Malik Williams in the shotgun. On the play action, Hodge pulls it out. Fires on the near side to Irvin. Irvin inside the 15, inside the 10. He's tackled near the 5. Irvin all the way down to the 5-yard line before Washington wrestles him down. That's another first down. And the Rebels after a 13-yard gain and a first and goal situation with the ball on the 5.
D'Angelo Irvin showing how elusive he is with the ball in space. Little RPO bubble screen on the run. Everything in the playbook that you run with Jacob DeJesus is still available to you with D'Angelo Irvin. Very similar style of play by these two slot receivers.
Irving says that DeJesus has kind of taken him under his wing. First and goal from the 5-yard line. Ricky lined up to the right. Got to keep an eye on him here. On play action, Malik Williams keeps it himself. Shoots it inside the 5. Shoots towards the end zone. He's in for pay dirt. Touchdown, Malik Williams. Into the end zone on the ground for the first time today. And in the first drive of the second half, the Rebels find the end zone and trail 20-16.
Exactly what the doctor ordered coming out of the locker room. A commanding drive by the Rebel offense. All the playmakers getting involved. Capped off by a Malik Williams run in the red zone. Exactly what the Rebels needed. Making this a one-possession game. Chittenden with the extra point pending.
5th rush touchdown of the year for Malik Williams is his 3rd in his last 2 games. Snap by Ben Lisk is good. The hold by Marshall Nichols is down, and Chittenden's extra point is up and through. Well, that cuts it to a 1-score game. It's Boise State 20, UNLV 17, with 11:10 to play in the third. You're listening to the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Rebel fans, the 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to UNLV football games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the UNLV Rebels. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Joe Fallon's bedroom mini fridge. Sure, this pint-sized chiller's max capacity is 3 soda cans, but what it lacks in stature, it makes up in cooling strength. Each beverage a perfect 37 degrees every time. And the 2 feet Joe walks to get a drink, priceless. That's why his mini fridge is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
20-17, Boise State leads over UNLV with 11:10 to go in the third. And for the first time in the second half, we'll check in with Steve Cofield on the sideline.
Report is brought to you by Ted Weens, complete auto service, nice touchdown run, looking for some contact, powering into the end zone by Malik Williams. Bunch of congrats on the sideline. So update on Jacob DeJesus. It's more of a sleeve on the left knee. I don't know if he's going to come back in. He's standing on the sidelines. He doesn't move much right now. He's trying to stretch out the left knee. I do believe for the second half that Marcel McDuffie is probably out for the game. He was limping really badly on some of the final plays of the first half. It was unfortunate. He's coming back from a broken bone in that left leg, but right now he looks kind of dejected on the sidelines. I don't know if he's going to be back in the second half. We'll set it back up to Matt and Caleb.
You always appreciate a guy, Caleb, putting his body on the line and really putting everything out there for a team, especially in the situation of Marcel McDuffie. But you got to give your team the best chance if you're not 100%.
That's exactly right. I think Marcel McDuffie is one of those cases where you are injured. It's not like you're hurt and trying to play through. An injury is debilitating you right now. And sometimes you could become a liability in that situation. As much effort and heart as you want to give, we saw during that first half he wasn't as elusive and as explosive as we're accustomed to him seeing. I know that the Manny Powells and the Charles Correas have been out there more throughout the season, and they've got reps. They've earned the opportunity to prove that they can get it done on this stage. It looks like it's going to be those guys in the second half. But the defense with their first shot at stopping the Broncos offense after what was a landslide finish to the first half. We'll see if they can regroup after the locker room adjustments, come out here and continue to contain Ashton Jeanty.
This drive could go a long way to the momentum of this game. UNLV has had success going up against Ashton Jeanty in this Boise State running attack so far, especially relative to some of the success of the opposing teams. Caden Chittenden on the kickoff, sends one high towards the south end zone, and it goes through the back of that aforementioned end zone for another touchback. He's done nothing but kick it through the back of the end zone on touchbacks today. And Boise State once again takes over from the 25-yard line on their first drive of the second half. What are you looking for on the defensive side without Marcel McDuffie?
I think they're going to be more speedy and explosive. And you see early in this set of downs, they may be moving around. And Marcel McDuffie is on the field right now.
I was going to update you guys. He did run out on the field. Now he's coming. Now he's going back in.
We're playing musical chairs here. He's out on the field, going to give it a go here. Looks like against the heavier personnel packages, he's going to be on the field.
He's out there with Jackson Woodard as Maddox Madsen goes under center. Boise State going from right to left to start out their first offensive drive of quarter number 3. Bates in motion. And on the handoff, it's Jeanty up the middle, finding some gap to the left side. He's across the 30, down to the 35. He's tackled at the 41-yard line. There's that first burst that we didn't see really from Ashton Jeanty in the first half. Another first down run, a 15-yard gain.
One of the most well-blocked plays that we've seen from the Broncos, and it was Marcel McDuffie. He's laboring hard out there. He's right at the point of attack on that play. He can't even put any pressure on his foot. He just gets completely moved out of the hole. You've got to see that and get him off the field because for his health and for the health of the defense, he is laboring.
On 1st and 10, Maddox Madsen hands it off to Ashton Jeanty up the middle again. He's out at the 45-yard line before being tackled. Right on the V of the UNLV logo is Jonathan Baldwin. Laid the boom after a gain of 5.
Again, I commend Marcel McDuffie for the effort he's putting out, but he is out there with one leg against the number 17 team in the nation. And Ashton Jeanty is running downhill at him on the last 2 plays. He is not 100%. And if they can do it, I think that Rebels need to get Marcel McDuffie off the field here.
Ball on the 45-yard line. Boise State lines up for a 2nd down and 6 with 10 minutes and counting to go in the third quarter. On the handoff, it's Jeanty again off the left tackle. Jackson Woodard, holds on at the 50-yard line. Jeanty drags him for another 5 yards. He's into Rebel territory and starting to heat up. Ball spotted at the 47-yard line. And here come the Broncos back to the line once more. They're trying to hustle things up and keep McDuffie on the field. On play action, Maddox Madsen drops back to pass, fires it over the middle of the field. It's caught by Strand at the 20. He's inside of the 15, tackled out of bounds on the near sideline, inside the 10-yard line. Prince Strawn all the way down to the 1, or rather the 10 rather, before Jarvis Ware ushered him out of bounds. Strawn, after the stiff arm, nearly found the end zone as well. Another explosive play sets up Boise State in the red zone, and it's 1st and goal to go from the 10-yard line. Broncos hoping for a response. They've got 2 receivers to the right, 2 tight ends to the left. Jeanty in the pistol, lined up behind. In motion is Bolt from right to left. The give is to Jeanty. He tries to make a move outside the left, but Jackson Woodard holds him up. And a couple of Rebel defenders come in and finish him off. Charles Correa also in on the stop, the true freshman out of Vegas.
It's a great job by Jackson Woodard, one-on-one with Ashton Jeanty. Looked like he almost popped that ball out of there. Potentially got a hand up on it, but just a nice secure tackle by Jackson Woodard in the backfield. The conference has been wanting to see that. Ashton Jeanty likely the offensive player of the year, and Jackson Woodard likely the defensive player of the year, meeting in the trenches.
20-17, Boise State leads. 2nd down and goal to go from the 11-yard line. Maddox out of the shotgun with Jeanty to his left. He'll go out and around as Madsen looks to pass. He looks end zone. He looks for the corner, and it's incomplete to Strawn. He just fired it over the head of his 6'5 receiver out of the Bahamas. And that incompletion brings up a 3rd and goal from the 11.
Again, going to the corner route against man coverage from off. Catalan having a tough time guarding it, but he actually did a good job positioning himself so that the throw by Madsen had to be high and over the top as he undercut that corner route. Raising Cane's 3rd down here for the Rebel defense. 3rd and 11 for the Broncos.
You can feel this crowd getting into it here in the second half. Rebels hoping for a stop here on 3rd down. Madsen dropping back to pass. The Rebels send 6. He fires to the near side. It's Incomplete. Incomplete as it hit off the ground, intended for Matt Lauder. The tight end was in the end zone, but the throw was too low and bounced off the turf, and it brings up 4th and goal from the 11.
That was a massive stop by the Rebel defense. Grimes in coverage all over the receiver there, forcing the low throw. That's exactly where you want to put it if you're Madsen. Just unfortunate for them. Receiver can't get his hands on her. But the Rebel defense, again, this is the 4th time that they've been able to hold the Broncos to a field goal attempt inside the red zone. And you'll take that as a win.
Joni Dalmas back out there for the 3rd time today, spotting this one up from 29 yards out on the left hash. The snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is up and good as well. So again, the Rebels bend but don't break, so to speak, allowing Boise State to go all the way down the field deep, but holding them to just a field goal, as that's the 3rd one already today for the conference's all-time leading kicker, Jonah Dalmas. With 8:24 to go in the 3rd quarter, we'll step aside as Boise State 23, UNLV 17. Rebels get the ball next on the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
Your morning shave with Barbasol is a time for self-reflection. Look in that mirror and ask yourself, can I make a real difference in this world? Of course you can. Just not today. There's football on. Barbasol. It's a can of can-do.
If you can plan barbecues and weddings, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Parkway Tavern is the official home of the Rebels on the road. With 7 neighborhood taverns, there's no better place to win with the Rebels. Enjoy $5 Miller Lite and Coors Light drafts and $6 Crown Royal, Kettle One, and Fireball during every game all season long. Plus, download the Parkway app for a free souvenir pint glass and free domestic draft at any of their 7 Valley locations. Parkway Tavern is a proud partner of your UNLV Rebels. Visit pkwitavern.com or follow them on social media at Parkway Tavern. That's PKWI Tavern. Go Rebels!
UNLV football on the Rebel Sports Network from Learfield is presented by Shook & Stone. Involved in a car accident or at work, call Shook & Stone, Nevada's premier injury and disability law firm. With over 25 years of experience, we've recovered over $1 billion for clients. Call 702-GET-MORE for a free consultation today. Shook & Stone, official partner of UNLV Athletics. Boise State marches down and kicks a 29-yard field goal to extend their lead at 23-17. Rebels will get the ball with 8:24 to go in the 3rd. Caleb, during that timeout, UNLV Sports Information Director Mark Wallington came in and gave us the attendance. It is the most attended UNLV game, not of the year, not at Allegiant Stadium, but ever. 42,228 the announced attendance. And we said it before the game, not hyperbole to say this is the biggest, most impactful game in the history of the UNLV program. And over 42,000 agreed with us.
Yeah, 42,000. And we'll give credit to Boise State. 8,000 or 9,000
at least
belong to them. It's been a great showing. But even without that, it's still an impressive home crowd for UNLV, and the home crowd has made an impact. They've forced a couple of false starts by the Broncos offensively. It's been loud in here, especially when the Rebels have made explosive plays offensively. But for all the remainder of this game, all 40-plus thousand here in attendance are going to be making their presence felt. If we got a barn burner, it's a one-possession game now after the Rebels defense holds the Broncos opening possession to a field goal. So basically a 4-point chip into the deficit. It's now a one-possession game. Rebels trail by 6. Looking to get the ball back here midway through the 3rd quarter.
Rebels with a touchdown would tie it. With an extra point would take the lead for the 2nd separate instance tonight. Ready to get us back underway is Jared Reeser, Jonah Dalmas' backup, who handles the kickoff duties. He puts it in the air. Jet Thomas on the near sideline will watch it sail over his head and out of the side of the end zone. Reeser hooking that one in for a touchback, and the Rebels will take over again at their own 25-yard line. Malik Williams tonight, 10 out of 18 passing for 146 yards. He's got a touchdown through the air and an interception as well. He's also the leading rusher in the game. 10 carries, 81 yards. Ashton Genty matching him on that last drive. They both have 81 yards. A lot of those coming on a 71-yard scamper for Malik Williams. And his 5-yard touchdown run gave the Rebels a touchdown on their last drive out. They'll go from left to right, trailing by 6 with 8:24 to play. 10 on the play clock as the Rebels get set at the line of scrimmage. Malik Williams in the shotgun with Kylan James to his right. He puts it in the belly of the Arkansas native, and he runs off the left guard and is able to wrestle his way for a gain of 5 up to the 30-yard line before Marco Notriani, the San Diego native, brought him down.
Like that, the Rebels going right to the ground game. Anytime 11 personnel or 12 personnel that the Broncos remain with a too-high safety shell and a 5 to 6 man box, you have to be able to run the ball just like the Rebels did there on 1st down That's a really nice first down play to start this drive.
Ball about 2 yards inside the hash on the left side of the field. Malik Williams takes the snap, fakes it to James. He's flushed out to the right. He's tripped up. He fires the ball towards the line of scrimmage, and they're calling incomplete. No flag on the play. Rodney Robinson on the pressure.
And they're going to talk about this. They may throw intentional grounding here, and they will. They'll drop the flag. Just not
intentional grounding. Number 6, offense. Quarterback was outside the pocket, but the pass did not get back to the line of scrimmage. Lost it down at the spot of the foul. 3rd down.
That one did not get back to the line of scrimmage. What's your play there as a quarterback in that situation? Is that a sack that you're willing to take?
No, you don't want to take a sack, but you just don't want to try to do too much with the play. You're in a situation where you're going to go down. Just go down and eat the sack. I mean, it doesn't really change the outcome there, but trying to get that ball out and get it across the line of scrimmage. Now 3rd and forever here for the Rebel offense.
Raising Cane's 3rd and 15 from the 20-yard line. Ball snapped from the right side hash as Malik Williams looks to throw. He's pressured. He steps up in the pocket. He fakes a throw. He'll run it himself. He's across the 20 to the 25. He's at the 30. He throws a shoulder into a defender, and he's tackled a yard short of the line to gain at the 34-yard line, and it brings up a 4th down and 1. What's Barry Odom going to do here?
The offense is staying out on the field. I think because of the way that Malik Williams was able to get that yardage, they may make an early decision to go for it here.
And they will. 4th and 1. The Rebels on 4th down this year, 7 out of 10. Trips to the right. 1 receiver left. Kylan James in the backfield. On the design quarterback draw, Malik Williams takes it to the left side. He dives across the 35. He's down, and a late flag comes out after Malik Williams picked up that 1st down.
Flag comes out well after Malik is down.
It was from the backside of the play as well. The back judge fired that thing like he's in the World Series.
Personal foul, illegal blindside block. Number 11, offense. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay 4th down.
Excuse me?
It should be replay 3rd down at the least.
It's 4th down. It's definitely 4th down, but illegal blindside block. I didn't see that. I mean, we're going to go with Phantom. I didn't see it. They're going to call it on Ricky White, an illegal blindside block. You're not allowed to make a block coming back towards your runner. I didn't see that happen on that play, and it came well after any block was made. Malik's going down to the ground being tackled, but the penalty will wipe off a conversion on 4th down for the Rebels.
They're trying to figure out where to spot this ball. It's a matter of whether or not Boise State even accepted the penalty.
No, they've accepted the penalty because it's going to wipe off the 1st down, but they had to mark it from the spot of the foul, which was beyond the chains. So he got the yards to gain.
The weird look is they'll now move it all the way back behind the original line of scrimmage. Ball going to be snapped from the 22-yard line. And Marshall Nichols puts a boot into it. Cooper Jones waiting back for it as it takes a bounce at the 40 and goes out of bounds at midfield. There is a referee down in some serious pain. He is just now rolling to his backside on the north side 35-yard line. That punt, by the way, only ends up going for 28 yards as it took a big bounce back towards Marshall Nichols. And all of a sudden, Boise State with the ball at midfield and a 6-point lead. 23-17, the Broncos on top. We'll step aside with 6:51 to play in the 3rd, and Boise State has possession when we come back. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
It's not about the injury.
Accidents happen every day and can be devastating and life-changing. Hi, this is Paul Pata from Paul Pata Law. Whether it's a car accident, a motorcycle accident, or slip and fall on commercial premises, if you are injured due to someone else's negligence, our team of expert injury attorneys will focus on you and your case and help you get your life back on track. Remember, it's not about the injury, it's about the recovery. Check us out at paulpatalaw.com or call us at 702-707-3000.
The best place to watch any big game is Doghouse Saloon at Resorts World Las Vegas. Doghouse has the best views to watch the action, a sportsbook on site to place your bets, incredible food and drink specials, and an amazing after party with live music, entertainment, dancing, and dueling pianos. Also inside Doghouse is Mouse House, a dining truck serving specialty grilled cheeses. The JT the Brick Show is a proud partner of the Doghouse Saloon at Resorts World Las Vegas.
23-17, Boise State with the lead and the ball with 6:51 to go in the 3rd. The umpire, David Williams, just now getting helped up to the sideline He got run over on that punt by Marshall Nichols that only ended up traveling 28 yards, and Boise State's going to have the ball at midfield. Caleb, got some more numbers on our attendance figure. Again, it's the most attended UNLV football game ever. 42,228, the announced crowd. The Allegiant Stadium record was 35,000 plus when Iowa State came in 2021. The all-time attendance record, 42,075 prior, was when Wisconsin came to Sandboy Stadium in 2002. And they're just now announcing that attendance record. We knew it was going to be a big crowd. I don't even think, Caleb, in our wildest dreams, we thought 42,000 plus would be in-house tonight.
No, I mean, I probably did. I've been expecting and clamoring for 42,000 plus to be the regular crowd here in Las Vegas. This is the sports and entertainment capital of the world. You've got winning football. I'm so glad that the fans did turn out. I'm so glad they've been engaged and loud and rooting on this team that deserves it. But they've got to keep rooting. Rebels trailing by 6 now, giving the ball back to the Broncos. Defense back out on the field. They put on a valiant effort against a Heisman hopeful in Ashton Jeanty so far. But in the second half, with this great field position after the poor Marshall Nichols punt, you got to think the Broncos are licking their chops and trying to regain control of this ball game.
They're going to have the ball at midfield. That's where that punt went out of bounds on the UNLV sideline. And this stop massive for UNLV. They trailed 23-17. Boise State trying to extend the lead to 2 scores with any points on this drive. Jeanty lines up in the pistol. 2 tight ends in the game. They both line up on the right side of the formation. 2 receivers left as well. Ball snap from midfield. The give is to Jeanty. He gets into UNLV territory, but by 1 yard. That off-tackle right run goes for 1 yard before being brought down by Jackson Woodard and Cam Oliver. And I do see Marcel McDuffie out there again, Caleb, defensively.
And I don't like to pour on the guy. He's a liability right now defensively. He's not 100%, and he's not even close in my estimation, the way he's moving out there. This is not the Marcel McDuffie we're used to seeing, but that is the Jackson Woodard we're used to seeing. Stops Ashton Jeanty for about a half-yard gain.
Whitmore and Martinson in the middle of that defensive line. It's K-Mac and Conley on the outsides. Man in motion from right to left is Austin Bolt. Maddox Madsen dropping pass to pass. He fires on a swing to Jeanty. It's complete at the Boise State 45-yard line. Jeanty back to the original line of scrimmage before being tripped up by Antonio Doyle, who got to him first.
Yeah, and it looked like they had a chance for a big-time loss. They're setting up essentially a flare screen to Jeanty, just trying to get him the ball in space, but the Rebels were swarming all over it. Lucky just to get back to the line of scrimmage. They actually will give him a loss of 1. Raising Cane's third down, and the crowd is back on their feet.
It's interesting, Jeanty with 11 catches all year, including today, 2 of them tonight. You can hear the crowd getting into it with 5:40 to go in the third. With 3 receivers to the right of the formation, Madsen back to pass on 3rd and 10. The Rebels send pressure. Madsen throws a duck over the middle of the field, and it's incomplete. That one was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and it brings up 4th and 10. Antonio Doyle got the big paw on it.
Rebels dial up the pressure, trusting the coverage on the back end. Doyle can't get home, but what do you do as a D lineman? You get your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. Doyle knocks it down for a Raising Cane's third down stop. And it's going to be D'Angelo Irving Jr. awaiting this punt inside his 10-yard line. See if the Rebels dial up pressure and come after this one.
Boise State spread out on the punt block. Rebels have the advantage at the line of scrimmage. They're all bunched up. They're going for the block here. Ball snapped to the Aussie, Josh Ferguson Green. It's a low line drive, grabbed by Irvin at the 11-yard line on the far side. He is met when he catches it, and he picks up maybe a yard after a long, low punt by the Aussie, James Ferguson Reynolds. So UNLV, after the Ty Benefield tackle, starts this drive at their own 12-yard line with 5:22 left in the third. As the teams meet at the sideline, we'll get set with the TV timeout. It's Boise State 23, UNLV 17, here on the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
It's time to review the top 3 highlights of the day. I'm joined, as always, by my co-anchor, Snoop.
Hey, what up, though?
Snoop, number 1 has to be getting the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence at T-Mobile.
Yeah, you should hustle down to T-Mobile like a dog chasing a squirrel chasing a nut.
Nice analogy, Snoop. Dogs do love to chase squirrels.
And squirrels love to chase those nuts.
On to highlight number 2. At T-Mobile, families can save 20% every month versus the other big guys.
That is very impressive. You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
That's exactly what I'm planning on doing with my savings, Snoop. Now, take it away, Snoop.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on them. Now drop that jingle.
With 24 monthly bill credits, eligible trade-in on Go 5G Next. Well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits, and credit stop and balance on required finance agreement due. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
Rebel football on the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield is presented by Howard Hughes. There's something beautiful happening in Las Vegas. That's life in Summerlin, a master premium planned community designed to live as good as it looks. Find your new home at Summerlin.com. Also presented by EOS Fitness. Get off the sidelines and into EOS, a proud partner of UNLV. Featuring premium amenities, including our turf functional training area, Move EOS Cinema, open 24/7, and much more. Join for as low as $9.99 a month at joineos.com. EOS Fitness, better gym, better price. Well, after a short Marshall Nichols punt, Boise State had the ball at the 50-yard line. They gained nothing on 3 plays, and a punt gives the Rebels the ball back. They originally downed it at the 12-yard line, but thanks to an illegal formation penalty by Boise State on the punt, Rebels will actually start at the 17, trailing 23-17 with 5:22 to play. A touchdown here would go a long way to deciding the rest of this game from a momentum standpoint for UNLV, Caleb.
Yeah, plenty of football left to get played, but you're right. It is a game of possessions at this point. You start to count and make sure that you maximize each possession. A touchdown would be great to regain the lead with the touchdown and extra point, but continuing to put pressure on the Broncos by scoring points and staying in touch and keeping this a one-possession game, especially at home. Things get wonky on the home field. So we'll see if UNLV can respond with a touchdown. Obviously, we would like to say that that penalty on the illegal block by Ricky White wiped off a 4th down conversion, and who knows, Rebels may have had that drive marching to points as well, but
they might still be driving.
5:22 in the third, but Rebels will start inside the 20-yard line on this possession.
This game just about even in almost every statistical category. Boise State outgaining UNLV 295-286, although the Rebels outrushing Boise State 140-138. UNLV going from left to right, basically red on white, the uniform matchups today. Red helmets, red jerseys for UNLV, and the whiteout uniforms for Boise State on the road. Malik Williams breaks the huddle at the 17. He comes out with Ballanguy and Moore on the left side, as well as both Ricky White and Corey Thompson Jr. Thomas lined up in the backfield in the pistol. On the end around, here's Ricky, who catches it in the backfield, spins inside the 15-yard line, and he is brought down for a loss of 2. Rebels trying to bring him around, but Davon Banks, the quarterback, sniffed it out for a loss.
Rebels trying to go with the little mini reverse to Ricky White. That's usually Jacob De Jesus, but he's sidelined with an injury here in this one. So Ricky White working out of the slot. Goes for a loss of 1 on the first down play.
On the right side hash, ball spotted on the 16-yard line with under 5 minutes and counting to go in the third. Malik Williams on play action has a defender come in from the side and hammer him for a loss. Shea Oladipo, the nickelback, on the free release, comes in and sacks Malik Williams. He had nowhere to go.
Yeah, Haj's got to hand that off on the RPO. He's looking to try to get it out on the edges, but the games that they're playing on the edges are really aggressive as far as trying to take away that edge throw. It's a risky throw, and especially when you're behind the chains. Hand that off on second down. Try to get some yards back. The run up the middle has been there, but the Rebels have unfortunately not been in situations to use it. Here, a big third down.
3rd and 16 from the 11. Boise State now with 5 sacks in the game. They lead the country in that category. Malik Williams from the pistol. Dropping back to pass. Now he gives it to Jet Thomas on the draw. Jet over the middle of the field, across the 15, down near the 20-yard line. That's where they'll spot him. But it'll be 7 yards short of the line to gain. Oladipo and Simpson combining on the stop. And the Rebels will send the punt unit onto the field for the second time in as many drives.
Rebels have yet to, in this ball game, just come out and establish the ground game consistently. On the early downs, they've decided to try to be aggressive as far as trick plays and reverses and things like that. But Marshall Nichols gets his boot into this one. Much better punt than his previous attempt for the Rebels.
Cooper Jones grabs it at his own 25-yard line, and he's hammered as soon as he grabs it. Who else but Jackson Woodard on the special teams? Ball spotted at the 24-yard line. Nothing going for Cooper Jones there.
Great coverage by the Rebels special teams. Great punt by Marshall Nichols. Really flipping the field, giving the Rebels some better starting field position defensively. Coming down there, making that tackle. Rashad Tanner all over the returner. First man there, Jackson Woodard on the cleanup.
Tanner's been a special teams ace for UNLV so far this year. He does have a block punt. UNLV the leader in block punts nationwide. Now Boise State flips the field, goes from right to left. They'll snap it from their own 24-yard line with 3:36 to go. Broncos lead the Rebels 23-17. Before this play is snapped, it's blown dead. Barry Odom arguing something on that far sideline, and he's at least gotten the officials to convene.
Charge from out of the half. UNLV, 30 seconds.
Rebels forced to use a timeout there. They had some issues.
They're not having any issue. The Broncos on the sideline huddle have their entire offense huddled up. And when they break the field, the Rebels are trying to match personnel. And it's happened every time. Coach Odom is upset because the Broncos appear to be breaking the huddle with different personnel off the sideline. So every time the Broncos come off the sideline huddle, UNLV's having to switch personnel at the last minute. There you saw a late substitution, Manny Powell and Charles Correa coming in and Marcel McDuffie going out. That personnel package, important obviously to their scheme, and Coach Odom forced to burn a timeout. He's having an extended discussion with the officials on the sideline about it because he doesn't think that the substitution or the way that the Broncos are taking the field is appropriate. They may be taking the field with personnel and then running guys off late during that sideline exchange. So I think Coach Odom's frustrated because he's been noticing it all game. And I've noticed that the Rebels have been making late substitution on the first play of every series here, trying to get the correct personnel on to match. Coach Odom obviously is frustrated with the fact that he had to burn a timeout to make sure he got the right substitution package in, but Rebels will reset for first down.
I mean, and at the end of the day, that personnel more important than that timeout at this stage of the game, correct?
I would say so. You may want to hold on to your timeout because in this ball game, you never know what you're going to need down the stretch, especially trailing here in the third quarter. Timeouts are precious. They're like gold, so coaches don't like to use them regardless, but you do want to make sure against this Bronco offense you have the prime personnel for every snap. Don't want to give them any freebies because of a substitution infraction.
So now everybody on the field lined up. Maddox Madsen under center, and with the tight end Louder in motion from right to left. He'll take the snap from his own 24-yard line. Fakes it to Genty. He looks to pass over the middle. Dumps it out to Genty on the swing, and it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of Ashton Genty. Jackson Woodard came in and provided the pressure. Genty heard the footsteps and dropped it on 1st and 10.
The Rebels did a great job on the back end of that. That's a play-action shot play on first down for the Broncos. 2 men in the route, max protection. Genty's the outlet. Just a little dip off if everything's covered downfield, and it was by Catalan and Cam Oliver combining in coverage down the field.
Marcel McDuffie checks back in. He's in the linebacking core right now along with Jackson Woodard. 5 defensive backs, including Jonathan Baldwin, on the field. Wide open spread out offense for Boise State as they've got 3 receivers to the right. Nobody except the tight end to the left. And on 2nd down and 10, the give is to Genty. He is swallowed up after a short gain. He picks up 3 off the left tackle. That was Fisher Kamak coming in from the backside and holding on for the ride.
Done a fantastic job from his defensive end position, affecting the run. Anytime Genty's in shotgun, seems like Kamak has a beat on that handoff. He's coming from the backside, crashing down, making those plays. Brings up another Raising Cane's 3rd down. Crowd back on their feet.
3rd and 7 from the 27-yard line. Ball's going to be snapped from the left hash mark. Wide out by himself is Latrell Caples at the top of the formation. And in motion now is Chase Penry in that direction. Madsen to pass. He looks to Genty. It's swatted. Alexander Whitmore dropping back from his defensive tackle spot, knocked it down. And a huge stop brings up 4th and 7. Here comes the Bronco punt unit onto the field.
Broncos setting up the screen there. Whitmore on the stunt. Recognizes it. Comes up with a huge deflection. Almost could have had an interception. Even if that's completed, Jonathan Baldwin would have been there for a tackle for no gain. Great job by the Rebel defense. Another 3 and out.
First pass breakup of the career for one Alexander Whitmore. Here's the Aussie, James Ferguson Reynolds, who hits a low line drive. Back at the 30-yard line is Irvin. He takes it, moves it to the near side. He's at the 40. He's at the 45, cuts it inside the hash mark to the 47-yard line before being brought down. D'Angelo Irvin Jr. out of Oklahoma making an impact with Jacob DeJesus banged up in the game. An 18-yard return gives the Rebels phenomenal field position as they'll take over here from the Boise State, or rather from their own 47-yard line.
I'd like to see the Rebel offense get back to the basics here. The offensive line has been eager to eat. I think with all the gimmicks and movement and late stemming that the Bronco defense has been doing, might be some good old-fashioned yards up the middle that the Rebel offense could benefit from here.
Well, and they've got their bowling ball running back, Kylan James, lined up behind Haj Malik Williams. Ballanguy, the tight end, more the H-back split to the right. It's Brownlee on the right, Ricky on the left. And the give is to James up the middle. He'll try it off the right guard. He picks up maybe a yard before his forward progress was stopped down to the 48-yard line. They will spot him for a gain of 1. Tackled by Ty Benefield on the play. And that brings up 2nd down and 9 from the 48.
The Rebels are trying to run it out of 12 personnel. I think they get a better look out of 11 personnel. Loosen up that box a little bit, but hard-nosed running, at least staying ahead of the chains barely, though, with a 1-yard gain.
Very similar formation here as Moore drops back to being the second running back in the go-go formation on the right side. And 2nd and 9, Malik Williams fakes the handoff to James. He scrambles out of the pocket right, airs it up on the near sideline. He was just trying to get out of dodge as that one was way out of bounds. That sets up 3rd down and 9 to go. Malik Williams has had pressure in his face off the play action all night.
Play action out of 12 personnel especially. Rebels have not been getting favorable boxes, and the spacing just isn't there, at least off the snap. Aggression by this secondary. They're playing downhill from death, but here we go. Another big 3rd down for UNLV. Can they come up with the yards to gain here? They've switched to 11 personnel with Bradley and Kaleo down on the bottom. Ricky White and D'Angelo Irving up top.
Rebels 4 for 11 on 3rd down today. Make it 4 out of 10. Coming into this one, 38% on the year. 2 receivers to each side. Kylan James in the backfield, out of the shotgun. Malik Williams takes the snap, but a penalty comes out late. They were winding down to the end of the play clock, and here's the referee, Nolan Dumas.
Snap, delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And now one of the line judges coming over. And we'll have a word with the referee. Wow. So Barry Odom saw that one coming and did get the timeout in. The UNLV side line judge came sprinting in after that play, or the infraction, beg your pardon, was called. And so Barry Odom having to burn 2 of his timeouts in the first 13 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, this is not a good situation that you want to be in. All of your timeouts essentially gone. You're going to have 1 after this, but you really have to make it count. If you're going to burn that timeout on this possession, obviously understanding the significance of keeping this as a convertible 3rd down, but he's not going to be happy about being forced to burn that second timeout. Malik Williams just lost count of the clock. It looked like the formation was set and everybody was lined up, and he really just took his time getting that snap off. Looked like the Broncos were bringing a 0 blitz, and maybe he was hesitant to snap it because he didn't have the answers at the line of scrimmage. But obviously, in this down and distance, the Broncos were looking to dial it up. We'll see if they keep that blitz after the timeout.
So on the second attempt at 3rd and 9 with 2:01 to play in the 3rd. 3 receivers to the right. All alone at the top of the formation is Corey Thompson Jr., James the running back off to the right of Malik Williams. Broncos showing pressure. They drop back. They'll send 6. Haj tucks it. He'll run it himself. He's across midfield. He's at the 45. Dives to the 40-yard line. He's inside of it to the 39 of Boise State. Malik Williams picks it up on 3rd down and 9 before Alexander Tubner brings him down.
Very decisive there by Malik Williams. Sees a lane and doesn't hesitate. Explodes through it. Keeps this drive alive. A massive play by number 6.
14-yard gain gives him 95 rushing yards in the game. 2 receivers to each side again. It's James still in the backfield. He gets it, runs it up the middle, gets it across the 35-yard line, moving it all the way down to the 33.
It's really, I think, simplified the game, and it's based on personnel. When the Rebels are in 11 personnel, they have a more favorable box. The Broncos are going with a light box as we have an official timeout for an injury. But I think the adjustment offensively for Brendan Mary and his offensive staff, they love to operate out of 12 personnel. They love their tight ends. They love having multiple tight ends on the field. But anytime they've gone to 11 personnel and spread out the formation, the Broncos have gone to a 2-high safety look and a 42 box. And the interior of the offensive line has been able to make people move on the inside, 5-6 yards a pop. They haven't got to it often, but when they do, their run game looks impeccable. If they can stay in 11 personnel and really beat the Broncos up on the inside, one thing it does, it cleans up the picture for Malik Williams. Even if he does decide to pass, it's from a cleaner picture. Their pressures don't look as exotic because everything's more spread out. They're not allowed to blitz because they have to respect the 4-wide look. Go to that lighter box and run the ball up the middle. I think the Rebels have meat there on that bone if they're going to go to it.
The injury was to Shelton Newton out of his nose guard spot, so that defensive line thinned out a bit. On 2nd down and 4, Malik Williams back to pass, airs it up, he's looking end zone, he's got a man, that's caught by Jaden Bradley for the touchdown. Oh baby, what a play, 6-23, 4-6, and we're tied at 23 with 1:03 to play in the 3rd quarter. 34 yards to pay dirt. Malik Williams into the end zone for the 2nd time tonight through the air.
Great job by Bradley winning on the route. Defender slips on the slight double move. Just a well-run route on a simple go route. Double goes, Ricky White up top and Bradley down low. Take your pick. Malik picks correctly. Touchdown Rebels.
And here's Caden Chittenden on the extra point. That's up. That's through, and the Rebels have a 24-23 lead with 63 seconds to go in the third quarter. How about it? Perfectly timed by Malik Williams. You can see on the replay there, Caleb, he hit the bottom of that five-step drop and aired it out for a wide-open Jaden Bradley, who's going to have a lot of matchup advantages at 6'4", 195.
And really just simplify the look. They're flooding the middle. Anytime the Rebels go 12 personnel, they're flooding the middle with their roving safeties. They're trying to eliminate the RPOs. And I mentioned they've been aggressive, playing from off coverage, but playing with a forward lean, anticipating the short routes by Ricky White and others on the RPOs. And this time, Bradley just steps on the gas and really catches the defense with their pants down and goes right over the top, dial it up at the perfect time. Explosive play for a touchdown. And Malik Williams, going back to the third down conversion he got with his legs, turns out to be a clutch timeout called by Barry Odom to keep them within range for that third down conversion. And the Rebel offense makes their head coach right, reclaiming the lead here late in the third.
After a 5-play, 53-yard drive lasting a minute 37, culminating in a 34-yard pass from Malik Williams to Jaden Bradley. The Rebels on top 24-23. Caden Chittenden kicks one through the back of the end zone over the head of the return man, Dylan Riley. So for the second time tonight, Caleb, Rebels back out on defense, nursing a lead. With 1:03 to play, Boise State's going to take over from there on 25-yard line. And you can feel the energy in this building, the biggest crowd in the history of UNLV football tonight.
The big Mo has swung. UNLV has recaptured the momentum, recapturing the lead. Kickoff coverage team getting the crowd riled up for this next defensive possession. They've been lights out here for most of the third quarter. Outside of the early drive that the Broncos got the field goal out of, defense has pitched a really good second half. We'll see if they can keep it up here.
Ball on the far right hash mark. It's at the 25-yard line. Madsen in the shotgun. Turns and hands it to Genty off the left side. He cuts it back to the inside. Breaks through a tackler. Breaks through another one as he moves the pile inside the 30 out to the 32-yard line and picks up a gain of 8 on first down before Jackson Woodard held him up.
And Marcel McDuffie is at the tip of the spear against that run. And I got to think if he's 100%, this might be a different look because he's not taking on the blocks with the same intensity that we're accustomed to seeing from him. But nice chunk of yards picked up there by Ashton Genty.
Genty now with 91 yards on the ground tonight. 2 tight ends to the right. Caples, the receiver on that side as well. Genty takes the handoff off the right. Jackson Woodard takes a dive near the first down marker. Eventually trips up Genty, but too late. That ball spotted at the 36-yard line, and Genty able to move the chains on 3rd and short.
A short tackle by Woodard, but Genty, ever elusive, just makes him miss just enough to get the yards he needed by a hair. He barely got that, but great effort by Jackson Woodard. That'll be the last play of the third quarter. These teams are excited to go to battle in the fourth.
The lights turn off here at Allegiant Stadium. Everybody on both sides holding 4 fingers to the ceiling. UNLV will enter the fourth quarter leading number 17 Boise State 24-23. Broncos have the ball on the 36-yard line on their own 36 on a 1st and 10 when we come back. Fourth quarter action from Allegiant Stadium on the other side. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
Injured in a car accident or at work? Don't go it alone. Call Shook & Stone, Nevada's premier injury and disability law firm. With over 25 years of experience, we've helped over 20,000 Nevadans recover over $1 billion in compensation and benefits.
At Shook & Stone, we understand the challenges you face after an accident or injury. Medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering. And insurance companies that put their interests before yours.
But you don't have to go it alone. Our team of experienced attorneys and staff is here to fight for the compensation and benefits you deserve.
Whether you've been injured in a car accident, workplace injury, construction accident, medical malpractice, or any other type of personal injury, Shook & Stone have the knowledge and resources to protect your rights.
For 3 decades, Shook & Stone has been here for you and your family. You're not alone. Call Shook & Stone at 702-GET-MORE for a free consultation. It won't cost you anything to see if we can help.
The official partner of UNLV Athletics.
Shook & Stone. Call 702-GET-MORE.
Fourth quarter action coming up as UNLV leads Boise State 24-23. Broncos with the ball to kick off the final quarter. The crowd getting hyped. The teams are amped, and Steve Cofield has a lot to do with that. Let's check in with Steve now.
Got loud down here. The Rebel fans got up, started making noise. Boise State fans responded. I'll tell you that, Casey, check that Jaden Bradley touchdown catch set up by some of the talk a couple of minutes before that because there was not a hookup between Bradley and Malik, and Bradley came to the sidelines. He and Campbell Park at Haj Malik, and Haj Malik went back at Jaden Bradley and was explaining coverage, and then Bradley was like, but still throw it. So I talked to Haj Malik during the week about communication. He's hard on his guys, the new guys, the big guys, especially Bradley and Kane. They want those guys to work hard, and you can see the dividends there as Haj Malik keeps his confidence in Bradley. And again, throwing to the corners, Haj Malik likes to do it, and you get the big hook up there.
Yeah, you heard Haj Malik Williams in our pregame interview talk about, hey, I'm not here to be friends with these guys. That's for that first week. Hey, I'm Haj. Nice to meet you. He said now it's tough love. You better be where you need to be in terms of where the positioning is on the field. He said, I need you, talking to his teammates. And, yeah, that's showing there with that back and forth to Bradley leading to that long touchdown pass.
There's a term called iron sharpens iron. And I think you have to understand the only way to sharpen a blade is with an even harder rock, a harder piece of steel. So iron sharpening iron is what teammates are supposed to do. And you have to have a foundation of love and trust and brotherhood to be able to have that kind of relationship where you can get on a guy when he's making a mistake or you can demand excellence from him. That is important for a quarterback. You can't always be somebody's friend. If you're a good leader, sometimes your teammates aren't going to like you. Sometimes they're going to be, telling you to get off their back a little bit. But that's a part of leadership. And Haj understanding that is vital. More importantly, him being able to turn the mirror on himself and tell himself, hey, I expect better of myself. And Ricky White to hold him accountable. Bradley to say, hey, I understand what you're saying, but throw me the ball. Give me a chance. Those are the kind of things that good teams always have. The good tension between brothers that care and trust each other makes the best teams. I've been around it. Those teams that are willing to criticize each other always come out better for it.
Buckle up, partner. 15 minutes to potentially decide the Group of 5 champion and a berth in the college football playoff. UNLV leads 24-23. Boise State heads from left to right to start quarter number 4. On play action, Madsen airs it out deep. He's got a man in UNLV territory. That's complete to Cameron Camper, who goes out of bounds on the 40-yard line, but some late contact out of bounds after that 19-yard pitch and catch, and there's some late flags coming out.
It's going to be a late hit against, looks like Ware on the sideline.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 13, defense. That 15-yard penalty is added to the end of the run, automatic. First down.
And that is a huge penalty because that gives the Broncos really field goal range here. Ball's going to be spotted at the UNLV 29-yard line, just like that. Boise State close to the NV Energy red zone.
And Ware gave up the big play on the play action. Insult to injury on the late hit.
First and 10 from the 29-yard line with 14:44 and counting. Madsen on play action to pass, looking end zone. He's got a man. That's complete. Oh, what a catch by Matt Wagner, the tight end, falling on his backside as he catches it. He's down at the 6-yard line, and all of a sudden, not only in the red zone, but inside the 10-yard line is this Boise State offense.
Really a similar play that the Rebels ran for a touchdown to Kaleo. Jalen Catalon catches it late, prevents the touchdown, but Broncos now inside the 10-yard line. Goal to go here on first down.
28-yard play sets him up close to the goal line. In motion is the tight end Lauder from right to left. They give it to Genty up the middle. Hits the pile, tries to move the pile, and moves it down to the 6-yard line before a score of Rebels tackle him after a gain of 2.
Wham blocked by the tight end. Catalan knifed underneath it. Just something to be mindful of. I know Maddox hasn't showed it here, but there's a potential for a quarterback keeper on that zone read look to Genty, and Catalan was the only man on the edge there who would have had a chance. Broncos might have pocketed that one for a later situation here in this goal-to-go situation.
McDuffie checks back in. Rebels in their 4-2-5 set defensively. Trips right with very tight splits off the hip of the right tackle Schmidt. All alone on the left side is Strawn. To pass is Madsen. He's pressured. He fires it over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking end zone to Lauder before a couple different Rebels got a hand on it. Jet Elad knocked it away and brings up a 3rd and goal from the 6.
And if Jet Elad's just a step quicker, he might have a pick with some room to run.
Oh, yeah.
I want to comment on Ashton Genty's blitz pickup there. Jackson Woodard came right down Broadway, and Genty, not known for anything other than toting the rock, picked up a great block on Jackson Woodard to allow Maddox to get that one off, but a big-time 3rd down here for the Rebel D.
Here we go, 3rd and goal from the 6. Broncos 2 for 11 on 3rd down today, their worst performance of the year by a wide margin. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. The tight end Lauder lined up off the left tackle. Genty on the right in the shotgun. He gets the handoff up the middle. He's met in the backfield but breaks a tackle. He's inside the 5, breaks a tackle at the 2, diving towards the goal line. He's spotted down at the 1. The line judge from the near side coming in and spotting Ashton Genty down at the 1-inch line. He broke not 2 but 3 tackles on the way in, And that brings up for now a 4th and goal from the 1-inch line.
They're bringing on the heavy personnel. The offense is standing on the field. This is a critical moment in this ball game. Rebels with a chance to turn away the Broncos and maintain the lead. Broncos trying to put a touchdown on the board. They could take the lead with a field goal, but it's a gut call here for the Broncos.
Here we go. Boise State tonight, 2 for 2 on 4th down. They need a yard for the touchdown. Everybody all bunched up. They turn. They give it to Genty. He's met in the backfield. The pile at the goal line, still no ruling from the officials. Here come the line judges. They still haven't made a ruling. It's a touchdown. Ashton Genty finds the end zone for the first time tonight, and Boise State retakes the lead on a 1-yard score.
And if he got in, it's by the closest margin possible. What a stop on the inside by the Rebels. He falls in, and he might have got pushed in at the last second. Don't know if there's going to be anything to overturn this anyway, but what an effort by Ashton Genty. The captain, Jackson Woodard, meets him at the 1-yard line. Those two duke it out just barely.
And the Boise State
across
offense,
the line.
Boise State offense stays out on the field. They want to go for 2.
Trying to make it a 7-point game, forcing the Rebels to need a touchdown to tie. They don't get it, though. 6 points gives the Rebels the lead. So another opportunity for the Rebel defense.
29-24 the score. Ball lined up on the left side of the hash mark from about the 2.5-yard line on the 2-point try. Madsen out of the shotgun, takes the snap, rolls right. He's looking to pass. He throws it to the pylon. It's incomplete. He was looking for Latrell Caples. Nowhere to go as he was covered tightly by Tony Grimes. 12:38 to play in quarter number 4. Boise State on Ashton Genty's first touchdown run of the day retakes the lead. It's the Broncos 29, the Rebels 24. UNLV gets the ball next. You're listening to the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
You may not have any experience dealing with car wrecks. After your car wreck, you need an attorney to make sure your interests, like car repairs, medical bills, and lost wages, are protected. Finding the right attorney is actually easy. Just look for reputation, experience, and results. Lerner & Rowe has thousands of 5-star reviews, decades of experience, and we've recovered billions of dollars for our injured clients.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 877-1500.
Multi-state settlements. Randy Westbrook, managing attorney.
Hey, Port of Subs fans, ready for a deal that's big on taste but light on your wallet? Make it a combo for just $2. Just $2 more, you can upgrade with chips and a drink. Get more meal for your money and make your lunch a combo. Head to Port of Subs and add chips and a drink for just $2. Offer available for a limited time only. Visit portofsubs.com or order on our app.
Sliced fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
UNLV football is presented by Modelo, the official beer sponsor of the College Football Playoff. Since 1925, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from, it matters what you're made of. Modelo, the reward for full-time fans, also presented by Star Nursery. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Star Nursery, your garden's partner for every bloomin' thing. After an 8-play, 75-yard drive for Boise State, taking 3 minutes and 25 seconds off the clock, culminating in an Ashton Genty 1-yard movement of the pile, we'll say, for a touchdown. The Broncos missed the 2-point conversion, which at that case, Caleb, it proves to be a pretty impactful decision one way or another. Is that a decision that you would have made if you were Spencer Danielson at that point with a 5-point lead?
Yeah, the math makes sense. And, you know, you're looking at this in terms of the number of possessions you have. It's a one-possession lead regardless, and UNLV will need a touchdown to tie or take the lead regardless. So getting the 2 points there makes it so Rebels need a touchdown and the extra point to take the lead in that situation, or really just to tie the game. Unfortunately, when you don't get it, the Rebels can take the lead with an extra point on their touchdown if they do score. But I think the damage, as far as the Broncos are concerned, was about making sure that UNLV was a touchdown behind and not just a field goal. So UNLV will have to get the ball into the end zone, at least if they want to make it a one-possession game. Of course, depending on how fast the Rebels move the ball down the field, getting a field goal, getting 3 points, is still viable for the Rebels as well. But the math makes sense there from an analytics perspective, and I agree with the Broncos' decision to go for 2 there. But now UNLV offensively has a chance to respond. They got a touchdown their last time out on an explosive play to Jaden Bradley. Let's see if the offense can make another commanding drive. Hajj Williams' legs have been impactful all game long. We'll see what he has here for this next drive now in the fourth quarter.
Taryn Shive set to get this one underway as the punter puts a boot into it. And back near his own goal line is Jet Thomas. He'll watch it bounce on the L in Rebels on the near side. Goes through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So another drive starting at the 25 for Hajj Williams and company. UNLV signal caller today with 179 yards passing and a couple of touchdowns on 12 for 21. He's also the leading rusher for UNLV, 14 carries, 94 yards. That's been about par for the course, though, for Malik Williams since taking over. Been efficient. Does have one of his 3 interceptions since taking over today. That was early on. And he'll look for a touchdown here on any of the drives throughout the rest of the game. 12:38 to go. Rebels going from right to left to get things started. Moore, the fullback, lined up to the right of Williams. Right behind him is Jet Thomas. Williams back to pass. Moves up in the pocket. He'll take it himself. Gets it across the 30-yard line. Makes a move to the inside. Dives across the 35. And he picks up 11. That's enough for the first down before being tackled. Malik Williams over 100 yards rushing in the game.
Rebels now going to 11 personnel here after Hodge gets that first down with his legs. Again, we talked about how impactful they are. Great job by him creating the first down of this series.
Second time this year that Hodge has gone over the century mark in terms of rushing. He's got Jet Thomas lined up next to him. Irvin in motion. They'll fake it to him on the jet sweep. And Hodge on the quarterback keeper picks up nothing. Tackled at the line of scrimmage by the preseason Mountain West Conference co-defensive player of the year, Ahmed Hassanin. Haven't called his name much yet today. It's up 2nd down and 10 from the 36-yard line. That's just the second tackle for Hassanin. And it keeps the clock moving with 11:45 and counting to play. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. It's Jaden Bradley. Kaleo Ballanguy, the only tight end, split as an H-back to the right of the formation. Malik Williams gives it up the middle. Jet Thomas breaks through a tackle. He gets to the 40, spins inside to the 42-yard line before being brought down. Jet Thomas finding a way to squirt through on the second effort. He was held up by Marco Notriani.
It's a good run. Again, 11 personnel. Rebels running right up the middle. Jet making a couple people miss. And following Kaleo right up the middle. Get some good yardage on 2nd down, making 3rd down much more manageable. Entire playbook is open here. Rebels staying in 11 personnel.
3rd and 4 from the 42-yard line. Trips receivers to the right. Jet Thomas stays in the game as the running back with Ballanguy, the tight end, on the right of the formation. They'll give it to Jet. He takes it up the middle. He dives towards the marker, but they're going to spot him a yard short at the 45-yard line. Braxton Feely falling on him for the stop. 4th and 1. Offense looks like they're going to stay on the field. This is a no-brainer at this point, right?
This is a tough spot to ask your offense to get it, but I think it is the right call after the yards gained on that 3rd down play.
Rebels so far on 4th down this year, 7 out of 10. This is their first attempt of the game. 3 receivers to the right. And on the mesh, they give it to Thomas. Thomas spins at the 50-yard line. He's got the first down and then some into Boise State territory at the 48. He was twisted to the ground by Tubner and Oladipo. Malik Williams nearly ran that distance with him.
Jet, this is called take the ball from the quarterback. You're going to get the 1 yard as a running back. Jet not letting go at the mesh point. Makes the right decision, gets the first down with his legs.
Jet said, give me that. Picked up the first down, moving it into Boise State territory. Ball spotted on the Bronco 49. 2 receivers to each side, including Ballanguy, the tight end on the right. Dropping back to throw is Malik Williams. He splits 3 defenders, and he'll tuck it himself. Cuts it to the near side, gets it across midfield, and it will eventually pick up a yard before Notriani tackles him. He broke 3 different tackles, and late flag comes out after the play at midfield.
The refs got caught with a flop. And I talked about it earlier that the defenders for the Broncos have been trying to bait these late flags. And there's a clear flop.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 74, offense. That's his first of the game. 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. It's 2nd down.
And there's been pushing and shoving going around on every pile. And Jalen St. John, about the lightest tap you can give a guy, and the refs get caught on a flop. I don't agree with that call at all. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it's a flop, and the refs got goaded into it. I don't agree with the call, but you can't do that if you're Jalen St. John. But Rebels, again, letting penalties affect the outcome of the game here. Got to be smart in that if you're pork chop.
So instead of a gain of 1, it'll be 2nd and 25. Rebels back in their own territory at the 37. Boise State leads 29-24, 9:30 and counting to play in the contest. From an empty backfield, Malik Williams with 4 men pressuring him. Steps up, moves to the right. He'll take it himself. He's across the 35, cuts it inside at the 40-yard line, and right in front of his own sideline. Brought down at the 42. Malik Williams able to pick up 7, and that'll make it 3rd down and plenty to go. 3rd down and 20 on the scoreboard.
Fans still booing after that penalty was called. And again, I understand why they're booing. You just got to be smart about that if you're pork chop. He got actually blindsided, hit late, which you could have argued that was a call. One of the Boise State players now is down, so officials will call a timeout. But Again, a big penalty for the Rebels to try to overcome. Unfortunately, when you leave it up to the officials, sometimes it doesn't go your way. And I think that's a case right there. Jalen St. John, you got to be smarter than that. He got clearly blindsided late near the pile, hit unnecessarily. But the second guy always gets caught. Jalen came up, made some marginal contact. And again, the flopping fish was rewarded. Boise State drew the flag, and the Rebels got backed up, and this pretty much derailed this set of downs. Now 3rd and forever here, faced by the Rebels.
Tell you what, Caleb, is both sides meet at their own sideline right now with Boise State on top by 5. This crowd's something else. I mean, it's the biggest crowd in UNLV history, as we've mentioned time and time again, but it just feels different. This is an excited crowd. They know what's at stake in this game, and they've had one of the most exciting games in the history of this stadium for UNLV to watch. Shelton Newton, for the second time, is helped off the field as he heads towards the near sideline. This crowd has been something to behold tonight.
It's been great. They've been engaged. They've been active. It's kind of a vision of what UNLV football could be on a consistent basis. I'm glad they're here for this one. Hopefully they're here for the rest of the road games. And for years to come for UNLV, Coach Odom and his staff have earned every ounce of this support here. And still plenty of time left in this ball game, and the energy of that crowd is going to need to maintain through all 4 quarters. Got to help these boys out to get this victory.
So the Rebels out of the injury timeout on 3rd and 20 with 9 minutes and counting. They're on their own 42-yard line. They need to get it to the Boise State 39 for the first down. Malik Williams from an empty backfield drops back to pass, steps up through the pressure, and he's sacked. Malik Williams brought down for a loss of 7 by Ahmed Hassanin. That gives him a sack in 6 straight games and 14 of his last 17. His 22nd career sack is the 6th of the game for Boise State, and it brings out the UNLV punt unit. Marshall Nichols back near his own 20 as it's Cooper Jones at the Boise State 15. Set to receive it. Nichols gets a high spiraling kick to Jones. He catches it at his own 10-yard line. Breaks a tackle to the far sideline. Now cuts it back inside the hash mark. A score of Rebel defenders come in and trip him up and tackle him at the 14-yard line. That was Jackson Woodard, the first to bring him down, along with Manny Powell. So with 8:09 to play, Boise State's going to have the ball on their own 14-yard line. Rebels continue to win in the field position battle, but on the scoreboard, the Broncos lead the Rebels 29-24. We'll step aside on the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
We love the thrill of a game-winning drive. And when it comes to exploring the wild side of Nevada, we've got a few epic drives of our own. Road trips to fill your heart. Hot springs, ghost towns, desert art. Destinations a world apart. So go on, get a little out there, and experience all that the Silver State has to offer. Start planning your trip at travelnevada.com.
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's majestic golden eagles and other less majestic birds taunting you through the baseball-sized hole in your new windows. It's soaring guitar solos performed through faulty wiring in your garage, which subsequently erupts into flames. It's also around-the-clock protection when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
When life gets real, start at Kohl's, where they've lowered prices on thousands of items your family needs for whatever life brings. Kohl's, where families come first. UNLV football also presented by the Varsity Network app. When you're out of town and want to keep up with live college sports, be sure to download the new Varsity Network app. Available for both Apple and Android. Listen to college sports live with the Varsity Network app. Along with Steve Cofield and Caleb Herring, I'm Matt Neverett. 29-24. UNLV trails Boise State, is going to have the ball with 8:09 to play. Broncos with the ball on their own 14-yard line. But before they get this drive underway, we'll check in with Steve on the sideline.
Yeah, Rebels need to get off the deck right now. They're, you can see the offense is very bummed out. Jalen St. John very disappointed in himself. Of all guys to go down there, D'Angelo Irvin was talking to Chop at the end of the bench after that personal foul. I'll tell you, on defense, I saw a lot of the tablet work was on that tight end play to Wagner that broke out for 22 yards. And Charles Correa was getting some tough love about being an edge guy and not staying disciplined. The defensive backs were kind of watching what happened there, how they lost the tight end because that turned into a 22-yarder that set up the Genty touchdown eventually. So we'll see if the energy returns here. Right now, offense is a little down in the dumps. And by the way, they may be without Kaleo Ballen guy because he was getting his left ankle worked on. The big tight end was really grimacing Payne just a couple minutes ago. We'll send it back upstairs to Matt and Caleb.
Rebels got some reinforcements going into this week, but they have been getting banged up and then some throughout the entirety of this game. Boise State heading back out onto the field. They'll go from left to right with 8:09 to play. First snap's going to be from their own 14-yard line. One receiver left, two tight ends to the right. Also on the right side, the wide receiver Cameron Bates. Under center is Maddox Madsen. 7 yards behind him is Ashton Genty. Bates in motion from right to left. The give is to the right side to Ashton Genty. He'll go off the right side, off the tackle. He goes to the 15-yard line before Tony Grimes wrestles him down. Grimes kind of mirroring him the entire way down the field, and he'll actually spot him ahead for a gain of 2, setting up 2nd and 8.
It's a good tackle by a cornerback on Ashton Genty. Coming off that edge, Ashton Genty's mad at himself. He doesn't usually get tackled one-on-one by corners like that, but a great job by Grimes setting the edge, securing that for a minimal gain.
Clock continues to wind. We're under 8 minutes to play in the biggest game of the year around the Mountain West Conference. 2nd down and a long 7. With 2 receivers to the right. Genty in the pistol. Takes the handoff from Madsen off the left tackle. Breaks it back to the inside. Ware holds him up. Woodard slams him to the turf at the 20-yard line. That's a big-time hit on a guy that the Rebels need some more of those big-time hits against in Genty.
And a generous spot gets him 5 yards on that gain, or 4 yards rather. Thought he may have gotten an extra yard for forward progress, but good stop. Woodard coming up, finishing the job there. Those two going at it. The 2 captains, the 2 players of the year for the conference, likely by the end of it. Raising Cane's 3rd down here for the defense.
And the Broncos, who came in today as the number 4 third down team in the country, just 2 out of 12 in 3rd down. 3rd and a long 4 with 7 minutes to play. Ball snap from the Boise State 20-yard line with 2 on the play clock. Madsen to pass. He's got pressure in his face. He's flushed out to the right. He's looking for a man. Fires near sideline. It's incomplete, but a flag down at the 30-yard line. Jed Elad complaining as if it were against him. Prince Strawn, the intended target on the errant throw.
They're going to call a holding here as the receiver broke out. Looks like on Jed Elad.
Pass, holding, number 0, defense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, an automatic. First down.
So instead, it's on Tony Grimes, and the penalty woes continue to bite UNLV.
You could call it an offensive pass interference one way or a hold the other way. I mean,
depends
Grimes
on
does grab a hold of the jersey because he's getting shoved to the ground by the receiver. So I'd like the refs to just keep the flags in their pocket in that situation. That could have gone either way, offensive PI or hold, but new set of downs for the Broncos.
7 penalties, 64 yards for UNLV, fresh set of downs for Boise State. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Madsen to pass. He finds Genty on the far sideline. He is slammed to the turf at the 37-yard line by Jalen Catalon. Got him up high, but definitely tackled him by the upper part of the shoulder pads. Almost punched him in the throat there as we get the look on the replay. That's the 3rd catch already for Ashton Genty. Again, he came into this game with just 9 receptions on the year. He's got 12. 2nd down and 3. 6:20 to go on the clock. 29-24, Boise State holds the advantage. Bunched up to the right side with 2 tight ends to that side of the formation. Both receivers that way as well. Madsen turns and hands it to Genty, off tackle right side. Tries to cut it back inside, but he is upended. Jackson Woodard got him around the ankles and sent Genty like a scorpion, feet overhead, to set up a 3rd down and a short 2. Crowd getting into it with under 6 minutes to play. Broncos trying to convert again on 3rd down. UNLV looking for a monumental stop in this situation.
Late substitution by the Broncos. The Rebels don't match it. So, again, the crowd becoming a factor. The Broncos having a problem getting the communication in the headset. Late break in the huddle, inside 5 seconds here.
4 seconds on the play clock.
They're going to burn a timeout.
A smart call there by Spencer Danielson.
Charged him out of the half. Boise State, 30 seconds.
And that's an impact that you can certainly attribute, at least in part, at the very least, to this crowd today. We heard Barry Odom in our pregame show in his message to Rebel Nation. He said, "We need you." And that's the kind of play that he was talking about.
I think what the Broncos were actually trying to do was to force UNLV to switch to the lighter personnel package with their substitution. The Rebels called the bluff. I think the Broncos are trying to create a lighter box for a potential run here on 3rd and short. When the Rebels didn't match it, they just didn't like the call. They didn't like the look, so they let that run all the way down and called that late timeout. So Broncos forced to call their first of the half. They have 2 left for the rest of the way. 5:30 here. Big 3rd down for both teams. Maybe 2 down territory here for the Broncos.
Biggest crowd in UNLV football history getting behind UNLV. 3 receivers all bunched up to the left side of the formation. Now one of them in motion. That's the tight end. They give it to Genty up the middle. He's blocked at the line of scrimmage. On the second effort, they'll give him the 39-yard line. That's 1 yard past the line to gain, and that's why Ashton Genty is so critical for this Boise State team, just pushing the pile and willing his way to a big-time third down conversion.
The Rebels have had 2 third downs now converted on this drive. The best third down percentage on this drive so far. They've almost doubled their third down conversions here on one single drive. One gifted by the penalty, and that one all on the shoulders of Ashton Genty's second effort.
1st and 10 from the Boise State 41. 5 minutes and counting to go in the contest. Madsen on play action. Fakes it to the backup Crow. He'll air it out to the far sideline. He's got the running back Crow, and he's upended almost immediately by Jonathan Baldwin. Spotted for a gain of 5 yards. 2nd and 5 from the Boise State 46-yard line. And again, just a check down to the running back. Rebels have had that downfield guarded for Madsen all day long, who is now 18 of 33 passing.
The Broncos just had 12 men in the huddle, and one ran off late. That's an illegal substitution there. They had 12 men in that huddle.
They got a 2nd and 5 from the far side hash mark. They're letting this one roll all the way down to 6 in the play clock before they snap it. And the give is to Ashton Genty through the left guard. He cuts it back up the middle before Fisher K-Mac holds on and trips him to the turf. Into UNLV territory, and picking up a first down is Ashton Genty. Ball spotted at the 45.
That late substitution, I think the Broncos got away with one, but Ashton Genty, late in this game, just wearing on the Rebel defense. Nice chunk of yards right up the middle. Wham block, really, by that backside tight end. Opened that hole up on the backside, took Fisher K-Mac out of the play.
Genty well over his average in terms of carries. That was his 31st. He's well under his average in terms of yards. He's got 122. 3:40 to play, 1st and 10 from the Rebel 45. Genty gets it off the right side again through the 4-gap. Bounces off of Jonathan Baldwin before being tripped up at the 40-yard line by Jet Elad. He is so slippery. It takes at least 2 men to bring him down. Boise State with their longest, most sustained drive of the game. You mentioned earlier, Caleb, 2 third down conversions on this drive. They had 2 third down conversions the rest of the game. Taking their sweet time in the huddle. They break the huddle with 15 on the play clock. 3:05 in the game clock. 2nd and 5 from the Rebel 40-yard line. UNLV dropping back defensively. They've got 4 men on the line of scrimmage. Everybody else about 5 to 7 yards back. Out of the shotgun, they give us to Crow up the middle. He bounces it off the left side. It was tripped up by Jackson Woodard. Coming in on the back end to finish him off was Marcel McDuffie. That sets up a 3rd and 1 from the 36-yard line. Another opportunity here for UNLV to make a stop on 3rd down. This one not quite in the range for Jonah Dalmas from the field goal kicking perspective. It'll be a 53-yarder from this point as Boise State brings in the heavy package from the sideline.
And this might be the ball game here. 2-minute timeout. Rebels only 1 timeout after that to stop the clock. They've got to get the ball back now.
Genty in the pistol. 5 seconds to go on the play clock. 3 tight ends in the game. They're all on the right side. Man in motion is Bates. Madsen takes the snap, gives to Genty. Genty knocked down at the 35-yard line. It's going to depend on the spot. The line to gain was the 35. He got exactly there, and they're going. One line judge said to move the chains. The other said no. And at the 2-minute timeout, we'll have to see what the decision is as far as whether or not to move the chains or not. Barry Odom apoplectic. That needs to be measured.
I thought that Genty's backside came down before he fell over the 35-yard line, but we'll see. It looked like to me Ashton Genty's butt came down prior to him falling over the 35-yard line. The yard to gain is right at the 35, and he was right there. It was close. I think Coach Odom saying that maybe there should have been at least a look at it. He had the best look. He was right there with the line judge. And they gave him what would look like a favorable spot to me. I mean, I'm not going to say it was a terrible spot. The live look, it was close. I just thought that Ashton Genty kind of rolled into the yards to gain after his butt hit down. So we'll see. And now they are confirming that they're going to review it during this break here, during the 2-minute timeout, because it was at least close enough to warrant a review. And again, I said this is essentially the ball game here with 2 minutes to go and only one timeout. UNLV won't be able to stop the clock if this is a first down, right? The Broncos can essentially hand the ball to Genty and milk the rest of this game away. So Coach Odom obviously desperate for a favorable spot, because it was close. And again, I would say that the backside of Genty may have touched the ground before he rolled forward for the yards to gain.
This Close Shave Instant Replay brought to you by Barbasol Shaving Cream. Feeling great starts with a great shave, and a great shave starts with Barbasol's thick and rich moisturizing lather. Start your day off right with Barbasol. And the impactful part of that announcement from the referee, Nolan Dumas, was that the ruling on the field was that Genty did pick up the line to gain. They haven't moved the chains. Even the down marker hasn't moved. It's still showing 3rd down and 1 to go as Nolan Dumas goes under the hood. He removes the headset, and here is the call on the spot of the play.
He's going to wait because we are in a TV timeout. I think he's going to wait until we come back from TV timeout so the audience at home watching on TV can get the call as well.
Talking to the timeout coordinator now, and we'll get that announcement eventually. But what a game, Caleb. It's about what we expected and then some between these two sides that are so close on paper. 2-minute timeout. Boise State leads 29-24. They've got the ball, and this ruling is going to be a big one as far as the rest of this game is concerned. We'll get set to step aside. We'll have the call on the other side of the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
At Lerner & Rowe, we know that car wrecks don't keep regular business hours. And neither do we. If you've been hurt in a car wreck after 5 p.m., you don't have to wait until tomorrow to get the help you need now.
We have people standing by, ready to take your call, ready to give you free advice, and ready to help you get the medical attention you need. You don't have to wait until tomorrow to call an attorney.
In a wreck, need a check? Call the law firm you know. Call Lerner & Rowe.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 877-1500.
Randy Westbrook, managing attorney.
So Nolan Dumas did come over the PA system and rule that Ashton Genty was down behind the line to gain. That sets up a 4th and inches, likely with the balance of the game hanging in the measure. Ball in the 36, 4th and inches. Madsen goes under center as the Rebels try to make a 4th down stop. Genty lined up in the backfield. Man in motion is Bolt. Madsen on the quarterback sneak, pushes the pile himself and picks up the line to gain for the 1st down. He's down to the 34-yard line. And the clock will stop until the chain is set inside of 2 minutes. Now it starts to tick with 1:55 to play. Rebels with 1 timeout, trailing by 5. And the clock stops now. Looks like they will take the timeout.
3rd and final. Charge from out of the half. UNLV, 30 seconds. With the game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 56 seconds. 1:56, please.
So while UNLV does get those 3 precious seconds added back on, that 1st down pickup on a 4th and inches, monumental for this Boise State team. Everybody knows what's hanging in the balance for the winner of this game.
Monumental, and you give credit to Boise State doing what they had to do down the stretch. Some of the mistakes made by UNLV, especially in the 4th quarter in regard to penalties and just mental errors, you can't have against the number 17 team in the nation. Boise State did everything that they could down the stretch to come out with this win on the road. An impressive performance by both teams, really. This game lived up to the billing. Decided by 1 possession, really came down to the wire. Both teams had their chances to win it. Broncos seemingly at this point just did just enough. The Rebels can come up with a couple of stops here. They may force a field goal attempt by the Broncos at best, but doing the math here, it looks like the Broncos will be able to comfortably wind this game out with a couple of handoffs.
Now, the game's not over yet. There is still a couple of plays to be had. If it does hold, if everything holds, the 29-24 score and everything else, it'll be just the 2nd time in 22 games under Barry Odom that UNLV has not forced a takeaway. I think that's been the big difference in this game compared to last year's Mountain West Championship game where they were a combined 5 turnovers, including 3 from UNLV.
Yeah, UNLV will look at that turnover margin as one of the big factors. Obviously, they gave themselves a chance to win after the interception by Hajj Malik-Williams, but not just the fact that it was an interception, but the Broncos essentially stole 7 points before the half. And once you know it, the difference in the ball game turns out to be that 1 possession. So a lot to digest as far as what went wrong, what went right, and maybe what chances the Rebels took away from themselves. But again, tip your hat to Boise State. They came in here, and with Ashton Jeanty having a subpar performance by his standards, we're still able to find a way to get a win. And that's what good teams do. They figure it out down the stretch. Unfortunately, the Rebels were not able to do enough to figure things out. And again, there's still going to be time on the clock, and you're playing for some pride, as a lot of those fans who came out to support are now headed for the exits for UNLV. But I think there's still some pride to play for here. And I think you got to tip your hat in respect. I think UNLV earned the respect of the nation watching this game. It was a very combative game and took its toll on both teams, really. A lot of injuries on both sides, but we'll see what UNLV can do here as far as their defense goes. If they can maybe force some errors here from the execution standpoint of Boise State, who knows? Still a minute 56 to go. There'll be at least 3 more snaps, and we'll see what the Broncos decide to do with them.
Regardless of the result, the Rebels will have a bye week next week to lick their wounds before a road trip to Hawaii. Coming up in 2 weeks, the Broncos head back home to take on San Diego State on the Smurf turf of Albertson Stadium next weekend in Boise. 1:56 to go still in this one, however. Broncos going from left to right. Coming out of that 2-minute timeout, 29-24, they are on top. In the victory formation, Maddox Madsen takes the knee and winds the clock. Caleb, your math is correct. The Broncos need to just take another knee or two and wind this one down, as the Rebels, if the score holds, will drop to 6-2, dropping their first Mountain West game of the year, and Boise State would become bowl eligible for the 27th straight season. The Boise State football program, the model of consistency, just 6 losing seasons in the last 80 years overall. Adds it on 2nd and 11, lines up in the victory formation once more. As the play clock winds down, he'll take the snap with 1 second and take the knee with 1:14 to play. Looks like UNLV is going to finish this game with 368 yards of total offense. And tell you what, thanks to these knees that Madsen's taken to wind down the clock, the Rebels are actually going to outrush the Boise State Broncos. The Boise State faithful staying on this near sideline. There's a lot of blue, even more red, in the biggest crowd in UNLV history tonight. And Madsen and the Broncos break the huddle. They've got to take one more knee. 39 seconds on the game clock. This will do it. On 3rd and 12, Madsen takes the knee. And the Boise State Broncos come into Las Vegas on homecoming at UNLV and defeat the Rebels by a 29-24 final. UNLV put themselves in a position to win, gave themselves a chance at so many different points throughout the contest. And for the first time this year, they fall in Mountain West play. Both of their 2 losses this year have been here at Allegiant Stadium, although against the 2 best teams that they've played, bar none, in Syracuse and today against Boise State. The 2 teams meeting at midfield, the clock just now striking zeros, and it's official. Boise State defeats UNLV 29-24 to go to 6-1, 3-0 in the Mountain West, and a perfect 4-0 on the road. UNLV, meanwhile, drops to 6-2. They are now 2-1 in Mountain West play and 2-2 at home in the 2024 calendar season. A lot to break down for this one. Our post-game show coming up, presented by our friends at Findlay Chevrolet. We'll hear from Coach Odom and a couple of players at the press conference. We'll give out our Raising Cane's player of the game and, of course, our South Point Hotel and Casino play of the game. Final score from Allegiant Stadium, Boise State 29, UNLV 24 in the game of the year around the Mountain West Conference. Back in a moment from Allegiant Stadium on our post-game show. You're listening to the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
At Findlay Chevrolet, we've made it simple and easy for our family of customers to get the Chevrolet they want at the price they deserve. Woo! And in turn, you've helped us win the prestigious Chevrolet Dealer of the Year award 7 years in a row. Woo! Thank you, Southern Nevada, from everyone at Findlay Chevrolet, Nevada's #1 Chevrolet volume dealer, located on the 215 Beltway between Rainbow and Jones, or at FindlayChevy.com. Findlay Chevrolet, home of the fine new roads.
Deep Eddy Vodka, a high-quality vodka with an even higher purpose, to bring people together for good times. We take sunshine, stellar vibes, and laid-back fun and bottle it up for the world to enjoy. The result? A refreshingly clean, real vodka made with real ingredients, ready for you to enjoy however, wherever, and with with whomever you like. Vodka is for fun. Please date, drink responsibly. Deep Eddy Vodka is a product of Deep Eddy Distilling Company, Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, distilled by Corn.
Serving communities, citizens, and workers in Las Vegas since 1931. Las Vegas Power Professionals, IBEW Local 357, and Southern Nevada NECO have provided tens of thousands of electrical industry careers for Southern Nevada families. To find out more about the union electrical construction industry, visit lvpowerpro.org. That's lvpowerpro.org.
Pueblo Medical Imaging is a proud sponsor of UNLV Athletics and provides services at 4, soon to be 5 locations throughout Southern Nevada. PMI is your one-stop shop for all your radiology needs with state-of-the-art equipment and accessibility for fast and accurate diagnoses to get you back to doing what you love. PMI is Las Vegas's preferred radiology provider. For more information, go to PMILV.com. Go Rebels!
Injured in a car accident or at work? Don't go it alone. Call Shook & Stone, Nevada's premier injury and disability law firm. With over 25 years of experience, we've helped over 20,000 Nevadans recover over $1 billion in compensation and benefits.
At Shook & Stone, we understand the challenges you face after an accident or injury. Medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering. And insurance companies that put their interests before yours.
But you don't have to go it alone. Our team of experienced attorneys and staff is here to fight for the compensation and benefits you deserve.
Whether you've been injured in a car accident, workplace injury, construction accident, medical malpractice, or any other type of personal injury, Shook & Stone have the knowledge and resources to protect your rights.
For 3 decades, Shook & Stone has been here for you and your family. You're not alone. Call Shook & Stone at 702-GET-MORE for a free consultation. It won't cost you anything to see if we can help.
The official partner of UNLV Athletics.
Shook and Stone. Call 702-GET-MORE.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletic season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Rebel Football has been brought to you by Barbasol Shaving Cream, delivering a quality shave at an honest value for over 100 years. Also by Findlay Chevrolet. Findlay Chevrolet is your home of the Woo, located on the 215 Beltway between Rainbow and Jones. This is the Rebel Postgame Show.
Back at you from Allegiant Stadium as Boise State comes into homecoming at UNLV and defeats UNLV on Nevada Day in a 29-24 final. Along with Caleb Baring and Steve Cofield, I'm Matt Neverett, Trevion McKenzie engineering alongside Ari Mizrahi back in our Lotus broadcast headquarters. Our postgame show presented by Findlay Chevrolet. A lot to break down in a game that had so much back and forth, and it turned out to be just as evenly matched, Caleb, as we had anticipated coming in. These two teams finishing within 30 yards of each other in terms of total offense, finishing within 4 yards of each other in terms of the rush game. These were two teams not separated by much out on the field of play.
Yeah, it was a clash of titans, and we knew it would be, and we knew that it would be a close game, and whoever had the will of the champion down the stretch will be able to come down to it. And I don't think it was a matter of the toughness of a team physically or the schemes of a team or the execution as far as the play. Really what this game came down to was the mental fortitude of UNLV versus that of Boise State. The mental mistakes, the errors as far as laundry on the field that really came back to hurt UNLV down the stretch. You don't have any margin for error in championship football against a good team. Maybe against a lesser opponent, you can overcome some of those things. But when every inch counts, when every down matters, you can't sabotage any of your own efforts and leave it up to the determination of flags. There's some major flags on the field that really influence the outcome of this ballgame. That's not to say that the officiating was poor. I think the officiating was very minimal in terms of their impact. There was some calls that were questionable, but again, the play on the field left it to a question. And sometimes the flag goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. And that's a part of the game. It always has been and it probably always will be. Unfortunately, UNLV did not execute, especially down the stretch. Going into the fourth quarter with a lead, although it was a slim one, you got to be able to hold on to that one and continue to execute, keep your head down, focus, lock in. Rebels weren't able to do that. And Boise State showed the heart of a champion and why they've been such a well-established program in college football and why they're likely on the way to being the representative of the group of 5 schools in the first 12-team college football playoff. But, again, there's a long season in between now and then.
Yeah.
And the way things are setting up, I don't think anybody would be upset about a rematch of this ballgame in the Mountain West Championship game. So all that's still out there. UNLV will lick their wounds in the bye week, getting ready for Hawaii. But what a game, what a finish, what a fight between these two teams on prime time.
Yeah, and the fight started the very first play of the game. Boise State won the opening toss, and as aggressive as we anticipated them to be, they took the opening coin toss, and they said, we want the ball first. And on the first play from scrimmage, Fisher Kamak trying to set the tone against the Heisman frontrunner in Ashton Jeanty. He had a tackle in the backfield right off the bat. First offensive snap of the game. From the 25-yard line, it's Jeanty on the handoff. It's Fisher Kamak meeting him in the backfield. He stuffs him for a loss of 1 on the game's first play. Talk about setting a tone early. And, yeah, that really kind of established the mood early. Ashton Jeanty did not have much of an impact in the first half.
It was a great job. Held him under 60 yards. And actually, Madsen was the leading rusher for the Boise State Broncos. I don't know if there's ever been a half of football since Ashton Jeanty came to the program where he wasn't the leading rusher. So good job by the Rebel defense. You said it. Fisher Kamak setting the tone. Schematically, I think the Rebels had a great plan. And I think physically they were up to the task as well, especially in the early going, containing Ashton Jeanty, putting a dent in his Heisman hopes, unfortunately, for the conference, looking to have their first Heisman Trophy winner. But Ashton Jeanty was bottled up. It started with Fisher Kamak, and the defense held the Broncos to a field goal on their opening possession, which was a big thing because this game would be tightly contested. Holding the Broncos to those field goals in the red zone was massive, especially in the first half.
And for UNLV in their first offensive drive, they were set up by the career-long run by Haj Malik Williams, a 71-yard scamper that sounded like this on their first drive. Get it faked to him on the triple option. Haj Malik fakes it to the outside. He runs it up the middle himself, past the 40. He's at the 45. He's at midfield to the Bronco 40. The 35. He cuts it inside at the 20. The 15. One man to beat. He's at the 10. Stiff arms a defender. Brought down inside the 5 is Haj Malik Williams. Chasing him down on the back end of the play was Jeremiah Irby. That's how to set the tone offensively for UNLV. And Haj Malik Williams showed off the wheels, showed off the strength, but unfortunately couldn't find the end zone. And that ended up making a difference because Boise State held strong near the shadow of their own end zone. And it set up Caden Chittenden, who's the leading scorer in the nation as far as kickers go, for his first field goal make. We'll try a 27-yarder from just inside the right hash. Ben Lisk on the snap. Marshall Nichols on the hold. The kick is up, and the kick is right down the middle. Well, both teams on their first offensive drives end with a field goal. Jonah Dalmas, the Mountain West all-time leader in kicks made and total points, and Caden Chittenden, the best freshman kicker potentially in the country. 3-3 between UNLV and Boise State, and it was the second time in as many games, Caleb, that UNLV and their opponent had each scored a field goal on their first drive.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as long as the Oregon State drives as far as taking up the entire first quarter last week, but both teams got down into the end zone, or to the red zone, rather. Both teams leaning on their quarterback runs. Madsen with a big one on the opening drive for the Broncos, and then Haj Malik Williams with that 71-yarder got the moving started for the offense. Really the bulk of the ground game for both offenses came from the quarterbacks. 2 field goals to show for it. But then the Rebel offense finally made some explosive plays, and they got the scoring started early.
Yeah, Casey Kane, a guy that they've been waiting for all year to really unlock in the one-on-one deep balls. After stuffing Boise State on defense, the Rebels turned things around and aired it out to their big Texas transfer. And Casey Kane had a 50-yard completion that sounded like this. He takes the snap, drops back, evades pressure, fires deep. He's looking for Ricky. It's at the 20. It's caught! Caught by Casey Kane inside the 10-yard line. He went over the top of the safety, Alex Tubner. And Casey Kane with an EOS Fitness first down just flipped the field. And he was looking for Ricky, aired it up a little bit more, put some extra mustard on the hot dog, and it was right to Casey Kane, who wasn't even looking when the ball was thrown. Great reaction and a better catch to bring that one down inside the red zone. It set up Haj Malik Williams in this offense for this easy touchdown pitch to Kaleo Ballanguy in the end zone. 2 tight ends to the right. Ricky, the only receiver on the left, as Jacob DeJesus motions out towards the top of the formation. Now Haj brings him back behind him, and he drops back. Looks towards the end zone. Airs one up. Wide open is Kaleo Ballanguy. He's got it on the over-the-shoulder grab. And from Haj Malik Williams to Kaleo Ballanguy for 6. And the Rebels jump out to a 9-3 lead. And the extra point made it a 10-3 advantage for the Rebels. That was the score after 1 quarter of play. We'll take a look at some more highlights, and we've got our press conference, our post-game interview with Coach Odom, and plenty more coming up on the post-game show presented by Findlay Chevrolet. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
Serving communities, citizens, and workers in Las Vegas since 1931. Las Vegas Power Professionals, IBEW Local 357, and Southern Nevada NECA have provided tens of thousands of electrical industry careers for Southern Nevada families. To find out more about the union electrical construction industry, visit lvpowerpro.org. That's lvpowerpro.org.
There's something beautiful happening in Las Vegas. Life